It's the Odd Drunk Podcast, a very strange podcast, the drunkest show in the world. It's Jackson and Colton talking out of their ass. We don't care as long as drinks are poured. Sometimes we have our friends here. We will talk about anything. We don't care as long as we have beer. And if you let that whiskey ring. The Odd Drunk Podcast.
Oh, that's a great start to this. Maybe I didn't pick that up.
Maybe.
We'll see. Welcome back to the Odd Drunk Pod.
Yes.
Cast. Tonight, we're going back to one of the movie series we've been commentating on. Not Twilight again. New Moon's missing. We gotta re-upload that, by the way.
Yeah.
And there's another episode missing. Really weird. Just out of nowhere. Thank you, Podbean. Anyways, we are here to watch Spider-Man 2. Sorry if I'm talking too loud. I had my headphones on, and the headphones aren't wired to the mix because we're gonna listen to the movie.
At all.
I can't hear myself.
I can't hear anything
ever,
except for the cold.
Unless I have the
cold darkness.
The cold darkness of my heart.
Yes, of Jackson's heart
specifically. And this movie kind of deals with cold dark existential crisis.
Yeah,
you know this.
Yeah,
we've all been through it. But anyway,
but we can all always have help getting over an existential crisis with character actor Alfred Molina.
Yeah, of course. I'm so excited for this one. We talked about it, and we're going to get right into it. But in fact, let's just get right into it.
Yeah. Let's get this shit started.
Oh, fuck. I got to do the thing. Sorry. Okay. God, I'm rusty. If this is your first commentary, even if it's not your first, but here's what we're going to do. I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, play. I'm going to press play. And then we're going to sync. We're going to sync at the Columbia logo, I guess.
Oh, yeah. It's Spider-Man 2.
And it's Spider-Man 2, by the way. Did we say that?
We did not. I don't think we said what
well, the title says that.
Yeah.
You can read. Unless you're blind, then I'm sorry. No offense to our blind listeners, if there's any. Okay, I better stop. But anyways, yeah, Spider-Man 2. So yeah, we're going to get going. So when I say play, you hit play on your button or whatever. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
So, 9 times out of 10, even if you don't own a copy, you should be able to watch it with us. Unless you unsubscribe from Netflix, because a lot of people did recently. They'll binge a series they like and then unsubscribe.
That's the type of thing I do with streaming services.
Yeah. Anyways,
subscribe to HBO for a month, catch up on all the stuff I've missed,
and then unsubscribe.
Yeah.
Yeah, because think about things you don't watch. Anyways, we are gonna get right into this. So 3, 2, 1, play. One more time. 3, 2, 1, play. Fuck. 3, 2, 1. Okay, here we go. This is the real one. I think I got to double click it. This is really awkward. 3, 2, 1, play.
There we go. Good job.
Here's the Columbia logo, the start of it. Well, let's make sure we're all in sync here.
Yeah. Make sure our audio is working.
Shazam. We're in sync. It's finishing right now. It just said Sony Pictures Entertainment. It's black. There we go. We're synced. Marvel logo.
Starting, yeah.
If you're slightly off, who cares?
Yeah. It's before they had all the MCU characters inside the Marvel logo. I prefer the old Marvel logo when they would start movies over the MCU shit. Nothing wrong with the MCU, but I think it's
our headphone splitter's really persnickety. God damn. Yeah, back to the MCU. Yeah, the MCU one's grandiose and everything, and that's cool. I appreciate it, and it gets you excited. But the original Marvel intro is just classy, right? Yeah. And I love this intro. It's way better than the Spider-Man 1 intro.
Oh, yeah.
It's with Alex Ross paintings.
Yeah, versus the Spider-Man 1 intro with the weird CGI stuff going on.
Just CGI webs and whatever.
Yeah.
But this one's classy. It's very classy.
I do love some good, like, over dramatized paintings of
maybe
Tobey
that
Maguire.
will work. I put the remote on the thing.
Seems to be working.
My headphones are really loud.
Mine are too.
I don't think there's much we can do about that. Just pull them back from yours. As long as the mics don't pick it up,
I hope they don't,
because that could get us in trouble.
We'll find out. The classic music by Danny Elfman.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. Danny Elfman's a great composer.
I love Danny Elfman. Good old Oingo Boingo.
Wait, let's just see if the music's bleeding in. Be quiet. No. Okay, we should be good.
I don't think it's bleeding in.
Well,
We'll find out.
I'm really suspicious why those episodes got taken down without any warning.
We didn't get any messages about it. Or
Well,
nothing.
there's no reason they should be copied. Oh, Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the best intro. And we've talked about it, and this is what I wanted to talk about earlier before I fucked everything up. But we talked about all the Spider-Man movies, at least up till now, and in anticipation for No Way Home. And I said this is, right up there, Spider-Verse. Honestly, we'll see if it holds true. It's still probably my favorite, even considering No Way Home.
Yeah.
Because I think No Way Home, that's a little bit unfair. Because it's kind of gimmicky. It's a great movie, but it's kind of gimmicky because
there's a lot of fan service.
It hinges on the whole, fan service, the multiverse, everybody's in it. All the Spider-Man. But this is just a good damn solo Spider-Man movie.
Oh, yeah.
Here, Tobey Maguire. Whoa.
It's not been that long
That
since
was
I
a
watched
clutch. That was a clutch stop there. He could have face planted so hard.
I like his little motorbike that he rides.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Well, it's cool for...
Also, I want to address the Joe's 29-minute guarantee is a terrible business practice. 29-minute delivery guarantee in Manhattan.
That's impossible.
That's a terrible idea.
Yeah, I bet Parker
he's like, Parker, you're not dependable. It's like, bitch, you're a bad businessman.
Yeah, you would know. You were a pizza delivery guy.
Yeah.
You were just like Spider-Man.
I did, one time I came back to the pizza shop after delivering and I turned to my buddy Eddie, who hopefully we're going to get on an episode for some Godzilla stuff. And I said, Eddie, Peter Parker was a broke pizza delivery guy in college, and I'm a broke pizza delivery guy in college.
Is he in college?
I think he's in college in this.
Or is he in between?
I think he's in college in this.
Oh, yeah, because
he's doing the paper on auto.
Yeah, the paper on auto. We just don't see him in class that much because...
But I said I'm practically Spider-Man. Because I'm also a broke.
Yeah, you just don't have any of the cool powers or anything like that.
Yeah.
Or a cool suit. He stole that guy's pizzas. Now, okay, I have a question to ask you because this is something I'm not even sure of. Well, I think I'm sure of, but
I'm really hoping that the music's not bleeding from my headphones into the microphone.
It doesn't look like it is.
Yeah. Hopefully not.
We have no way to turn it down. At least I'm too scared to try to turn it down because it could ruin this whole commentary. Yeah, no play. Yeah, what is the kids in New York throwing a ball around anyways? Oh, I love how that guy opened the box. He got
just mystery pizza.
He webbed up the pizza with his organic webbing, so that's extra gross.
Yeah.
This is a great part, and honestly, I don't know why he bothers to put the brooms and everything up. Just do that after. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He probably could have gotten there in the 29 minutes if he had not wasted time with the broom cupboard.
Yeah, there's yeah.
I mean, this is a whole minute here.
I've been through the struggle though, trying to get
yeah.
everything into a broom closet. And there's Emily Deschanel, Zoe Deschanel's older sister.
Ah.
And yeah, I didn't know that for a long time. And she's totally a Karen in this.
Yeah.
Also, her shirt weirdly kind of looks like the black suit. Just look at her shirt. I've always thought of this. Like, it has the webbing. Like, come on, show the shirt again. Oh, yeah, pizza time. We missed that. Shit, we missed that.
They didn't show it again, though.
Damn it, they didn't show it again, but it totally has, like, the white webbing on the black. It's weird.
Yeah.
Damn. 233 Bleecker Street.
Huh.
That's where this pizza place is. Not too far. That's around where Doctor Strange lives, right? In Sanctum Sanctorum.
Yeah,
it's on Bleecker Street.
It's on Bleecker Street, yeah.
There we go. Still the best Jameson and the only.
Yeah. I like that
Jameson.
they brought him back for
J.K. Simmons. And I love how in the No Way Home version, he's, well, because, you know, it's with the times. He's like a Alex Jones type, you know.
Yeah.
Crazy podcaster, internet guy. Which he probably would be.
It
would take him I think he would make fun of it for a long time, but then he would realize how easy it is.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's way easier than trying to run a newspaper.
As long as he can make sure everyone
And he
knows
could say anything he wants.
Spider-Man's a menace.
Yeah, exactly. If he finds out that's the best way, then he would totally do that. I don't think he's like the newspaper guy in Superman that really cares about the integrity of the paper, the news. Nah.
Yeah, no. Nah.
He's a shyster.
Yeah. Not a bad guy.
No, not the worst. At least this version. I think he's worse in No Way Home, actually. He's more insufferable in No Way Home.
He is, yeah. This version of him isn't
He's got a bit of a heart.
Always a bad guy.
We'll see that.
He doesn't rat out Peter Parker to the Green Goblin.
He doesn't.
In,
and
Spider-Man
there's
1.
what's her name? She's in the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
We've said this before, but that's Betty Brant,
right?
the character.
Yeah.
The actress is I can look it up. I do have a phone. It is 2022. Oh, what a nerd. I love in this movie everyone just apparently one of those bags had a brick in it.
Oh, jeez.
Because it kind of bled over from the first movie where the crew just hated Toby.
Oh, yeah.
Because he was a total dick back then. I heard he's a nice guy now and everything, but yeah.
Yeah, so someone asked Joe, what's his name, Angelino, Blino?
Yeah.
I don't remember his last name. It's something.
Yeah, he wanted to punch him in the, or no,
yeah,
crew member
someone
wanted
offered to
punch
pay him to punch him in the face during the fight scene with Flash.
We've already talked about this, but I really
he's a
love.
good guy and he did it.
I really love him as Lizard.
Oh yeah, I admittedly when No Way Home came out, I had totally forgotten that the Lizard in the Amazing Spider-Man was British.
No, yeah, he's British. He's Rise Ifans or Ifans. So yeah, Dylan Baker.
Yeah.
Dr. Kurt Connors. And then where is she? Elizabeth Banks. Yeah. God, it was on the tip of my tongue. And here's his lame birthday party. No, it's wholesome. It's wholesome.
I love
but
Harry.
It's just like he's got two friends there and his aunt, which should be a grandma. Like, this is my favorite Aunt May.
Oh yeah.
Like, but
100%.
let me just say something though. It seems like she's a little too old to be his aunt.
Yeah.
She's more like a great aunt, if anything.
Yeah.
But she's the most accurate Aunt May.
Oh yeah.
In fact, a lot of the Raimi movies, they get some things, wrong from the comics, but as far as the actual characters go, extremely accurate.
Yeah.
And
I love Harry in this because it's just every time he gets is alone with
he's
Peter.
like, Peter, you're my brother, you're my best friend. Well, fuck you, where's Spider-Man?
Yeah, he's just immediately, where's Spider-Man, Peter? Where is he?
Like, here we go. Like, they're having a good, meaningful conversation about Octavius, and then, Oscorp, yeah.
As soon as MJ and Aunt May leave the room,
They leave, and then he's like,
now where's
now
Spider-Man?
I'm going to ring into him. Well, he's ringing into him about MJ already. And then, there we go. Taking pictures of your friend.
He's like acting like acting like a nice guy.
He's luring him in.
A nice guy who's like Peter's friends, and then as soon as he has the chance,
I mean, I get that he's mad because he thinks Spider-Man killed his father, but does he not also realize that his father was a looting maniac?
I guess not. Yeah,
because it was clearly apparent, like in the Thanksgiving scene and everything, and I feel like he must. I guess no one knows that he's Green Goblin yet.
Yeah, I don't think.
But Otto knew in No Way Home. But I guess he's smart enough to put 2 and 2 together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe.
It's fairly obvious. I mean, yeah. I like this part because
the guy that's flying around in the Oscorp designed suit and glider.
Yeah. And the guy that you already know acts like a maniac anyways.
Yeah.
This scene always hit me because it reminded me of all the times I visited my grandma. We had very similar kind of, not the same kind of conversation, but kind of same moments.
Yeah.
Where, because she was, really poor, and she'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry I couldn't do more for your birthday and everything. Here's a little money. And I'd be like, oh, you don't have to. Come on, don't. Yeah. But she would insist on it, and it's just like this. And yeah, it always reminded me of that. Yeah. Man, $20 used to go a lot further in 2004, though.
Oh, God, yeah.
I mean, not that I ever really know or had to care about it back then, but trust me.
$20.
Inflation's a bitch.
A meal
$20
now.
Barely does shit anymore.
Yeah.
I can't even get I can't even get half a tank. I can barely get a tank of gas for $20 anymore. I mean, yeah, it's going down now, finally. But when it was because I had to get unleaded plus, so I was paying $5.30 for gas, Yeah, it's much simpler times back then. Before the Zuckerberg zucked all over the place. Even though it was like the eve of that, it was like right before social media was starting to come up.
Right before
no TikTok. Look, people just had awkward conversations in the backyard at 9:00 at night.
Yeah.
And
I remember having awkward conversations in the backyard at 9:00. I did too, yeah.
Even not long ago.
I remember when I was a kid going out and playing in my backyard.
Yeah.
And I would climb
I would
climb the
Wait, Colton. Oh boy, yeah.
Oh boy, yeah. Oh right, yeah.
That's going to be my new I'm going to say that now.
But I would climb the tree with an airsoft gun and shoot at my neighbor.
Oh yeah.
Because that's what
you would do.
Kids did.
Yeah.
Now,
and one time, and guys,
my sister, who's like 10 years younger than me, would probably have a panic attack if she didn't have her phone on her.
Right? It's sad, Colton. God, it's so weird. Like every interaction with them, I think it's maybe a little bit better in this movie, but in the first one, it was super hella weird.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of pathetic. And I guess that's the point.
In No Way Home, when he says that they made it work, I was kind of like, in my back of my mind, I was like, bullshit. You guys are like the worst.
Well,
couple
also,
in a superhero movie.
and DM me, but it's not just Peter just being like awkward and weird, and because he's Spider-Man, he has to deal with all that shit. But MJ's also kind of just a shitty person, anyways, too.
Yeah.
So like,
and I watched this whole trilogy recently in my spare time, and
the whole trilogy.
Yeah, the whole trilogy, and
Nice.
and I realized, like, if you take into account Spider-Man,
Spider-Man
3, as well,
that one.
people like to go on about how MJ is a really toxic like girlfriend. Peter's not that much better.
No, but
Like he has an excuse because of the Spider-Man thing.
He's just naive. He's very naive. He's not like being intentional. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he's not helping
But like
the situation.
he is like in Spider-Man 3, he is trying to give her advice and everything, but she takes it as he's like making it about him. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I don't think he means to do that.
yeah.
No, but I think that's the worst one.
mean,
but obviously, when he gets the black suit and then he hits her and he does his dance, then that's obviously he's extremely toxic in that. But before he gets the black suit, I'm like, damn, like, come on, your boyfriend's saving the city.
Here we go.
Here we go, the best character in the entire Spider-Man universe. He's my Steam avatar right now. It comes from this scene.
I
the
actually
picture
really
I use.
like him. In Spider-Man 3, they show when Peter's like acting all weird and stuff.
Mr. Dickovich.
He seems to actually give a shit about Peter for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he's an insufferable landlord.
Yeah.
Also, I saw this meme. In fact, I saved it specifically for this, and it was amazing that I saw this today. That's Ursula Dickovich. And there's a great YouTube poop by Spider Side. It's like 45 minutes long, called At Rinse End.
Yeah.
We've seen some of that together, but
I should,
Mr. Dickovich is like the main villain. But
I should change my Steam avatar to Ursula Dinkovich so that when we're playing online together, people are.
But there's a lot of good Bully
by it.
Maguire moments that come from this movie. But that's a good shot, actually. That's a really good shot.
There's some good cinematography in this
I really love the
movie.
color tones of the whole Raimi trilogy.
Oh, yeah. It's like this.
Filmic. It's very.
It's like that golden
Was it
hour
film? Was it
of,
on
like,
film? Or did they go digital by this point? It
It's
still looks like film to me.
It's still during an era where it's very likely they might have been on filming on actual.
I think they
film.
went digital in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah,
maybe.
but it's still like when this movie came out, it was still not uncommon for them to be using film.
Well, you can, because this is the 4K upgrade, but you can still see the film grain.
Yeah.
So, which
No, I
makes
mean
me
the whole trilogy has like that golden hour sunset like color tone to it.
yeah. And there he is, Willem Dafoe. But I've been playing.
Excuse me.
Fuck, Alfred Molina. I'm tired. I've been up since 5 a.m.
So
Sorry.
So have I. So we're in the same boat here.
Sorry, I'm so sorry.
They're both amazing character actors, so
Wow.
I understand.
We got to cancel this podcast. I just canceled us. No, there's Alfred Molina, character actor. He was the guy that died in Indiana Jones in the beginning.
Have you seen Sorcerer's Apprentice with Nicolas Cage?
Is Alfred Molina the
He's the bad guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the mod that replaces. Oh, by the way, I've been playing a lot of Spider-Man PC. I just got that not too long ago. Been modding it, and got a mod that changes the villain's music to the movie, the Danny Elfman music, and all that. And I know they're gonna attempt to put character actor Alfred Molina to replace the Otto Octavius in that game.
That'd be awesome.
And I want it to happen, even if it's shitty. I want it.
How cool would it be if they got to the point with the mods where they can just replace all the character models in that game?
There's already a mod that replaces all the villains with
movie
their.
characters.
It replaces all the villains with their classic character models.
Nice.
There's already one. So I don't think we're too
I
far
would
off.
totally want to play that game again,
And
especially.
people are working on. They have a Tobey Maguire head.
Nice.
It's low quality, and then they have an Andrew Garfield one.
You know that's
and
like
then
an
the
area of modding. in
TASM
video
2
games
suit and
that
everything.
I just really appreciate is like model swaps.
Yeah.
There's a mod I remember playing with in Grand Theft Auto 4 that just
I'm sure Beethoven slept before he wrote the fifth. I mean, just saying.
Oh yeah, probably. But there's a mod I played with years ago with Grand Theft Auto 4 that replaces Nico's head with Jason Statham. So it's you just play as Jason Statham.
That'd be
throughout the game.
good.
It was cool, but
Yeah. But there's a mod because you were talking about the color tones, like the sunset. Well, there's a mod. You got to get a reshader, but it's a preset that makes it look like the Raimi movies.
oh, nice.
And those kind of mods I don't need, but I might try it. But
I would love to
it's a little
play around with the mods in
persnickety.
that, but I don't think my computer could handle that game. Not quite.
Yeah, I'm surprised I can get 60 frames and up.
Yeah. Now my computer's not the worst computer out there, but it's not like a brick, but
Yeah,
it's not up to snuff with like modern gaming computers.
yeah,
You know.
poetry.
So anything past 2015, 2016, my computer doesn't do super well with.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I love that. I love this. I love this because Octavius tells him about poetry. That's how he won over his wife. And then immediately, Peter's mindset is, I'm going to immediately start reading poetry so then I can read it or recite it to Mary Jane. And that will automatically work. Oh, his socks.
stains his boxers
Yeah, red and blue.
pink with I think he would have learned that by now, not to wash the
Jets,
Spider-Man
hold
suit.
on. I didn't know that was by Jets. Maybe I'm thinking of a different band.
I love a good montage in a scene in a movie.
You don't see those as much.
Yeah, they kind of gone out of style.
When they play a song of the... I mean, they'll play songs of the era, but it's not...
Yeah, they had a montage scene in Spider-Man Homecoming.
So many movies, they'll
Which was
play popular music, but it's not... It's more background. You know what I mean?
Rent.
This is a... Rent. But, oh yeah, the meme. So Ursula Dickvich, why she's better than MJ. Okay, so Mary Jane Watson versus Ursula Dickvich.
Okay.
Mary Jane Watson, 1, needs acting lessons. Ursula Dickvich, 1, is an excellent baker. Mary Jane Watson left Peter when he needed emotional support. Ursula Dickvich was there when Peter was lonely and made him cookies with milk. Mary Jane leaves Peter because his relationship with Gwen Stacy, that's in Spider-Man 3. And then Ursula encourages Peter to call MJ despite having a major crush on him. MJ cheats on him with Harry Osborn. That's actually true, kind of. And then 4, Ursula, no other guys. Mary Jane gets engaged to a rich, famous guy, but abandons him on their wedding day. That is very true. That happens in this movie.
Right, yeah.
But I want to say he's like a rich guy. He's an astronaut. But,
Oh,
Jameson's
I like
son. This is just like the game, Colton, where you have to stop a... Oh, yeah, eat your green vegetables. Plenty of rest. That was a sick backflip. And then Ursula lives with Dad and doesn't abandon him. And then Mary Jane leaves Peter on voicemail. Ursula doesn't leave Peter on voicemail. So there you go. This is so... I mean, I'm not saying that this is implausible, but it's so comic book. Here's a great shot right here.
It's a classic Spider-Man.
There we go.
Just a classic Spider-Man scenario.
Yeah. Stop the webs.
Yeah.
Spectacular Spider-Man, the animated series.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shots and just direct homages to this trilogy.
Oh, yeah.
In that series. And, a lot of people say that's the best Spider-Man animated. Even though I really love the 90s one, too.
Yeah. Those crooks have a pretty cool car.
Well, it's a lowrider, you know?
Yeah.
Open top, which isn't convenient for them in this situation.
No, but
He makes short work of them.
In mid 2000s speak,
That would have been
guys
cool.
in beanies and a lowrider means crooks.
Yeah.
Which I don't know. I feel like that has racist undertones to it.
Hey, they were white.
Well, not this specific scene, but the
lowrider
association of
Well, in
guys in
GTA San Andreas, that was like
guys
all
in beanies and lowriders.
that was all the buzz. But yeah, I made short work of those guys. Like, it's a good action sequence, like when he swang through the truck.
Oh yeah,
But
the cop's like, "I'll tow that car." He's like,
and here we
fine.
go, Bruce Campbell back again.
Yes.
He's in a lot of Raimi's movies, obviously.
I loved his cameo in Doctor Strange. That was great.
Yeah. They made, obviously they made Evil Dead together basically in college. And he's been a lot. And yeah, he's in Doctor Strange 2 or Multiverse of Madness. And apparently there was leaked concept art. Not concept art, just what do they call it? Like
Yeah, concept art.
no, not concept art. It's not concept art. It's where you draw out the scene.
Oh, storyboard.
Storyboard, yeah. There's leaked storyboard of him as Mysterio, and it was going to be revealed that he was Mysterio the whole time. That's why he was always the same guy,
Huh. That's
pranking on Spider-Man. Oh, jeez. I love his face.
I would not give her $1.
But I would also.
Maybe I would.
I would also.
I know how it is for buskers.
I would also appreciate that someone's singing my theme song, even if it's poorly.
I'm not talking about if I was Spider-Man. No, I'm talking about if I was just like walking down the street.
Oh yeah,
and that
but if
lady
it
was
if you were
singing.
Spider-Man, they were singing your theme song.
Oh yeah. If I was walking down the street and someone was singing the Odd Drunk podcast theme song, I would definitely tip them.
Oh my, that would make my.
That would be
day.
really weird.
That would be extremely. I would be concerned.
Yeah, I'd be like, what?
I'd be very concerned. Are you okay? Do you need meds?
I would probably kind of bait them a little bit. I'd be like, what's that song from? Try to get them to tell me about.
Oh shit! I forgot to mention. What are we drinking?
Oh yeah, we're drinking a couple things tonight. I already finished it here, but I was drinking a Big Wave Golden Ale from Kona Brewing.
Oh, that's a great. I love Kona Brewing.
Oh yeah. And I also had. They were in my fridge. My girlfriend bought them. She didn't like them.
Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah. But I'm drinking Man Paw.
Oh, I love that
the
shot.
hardest seltzer.
It's so Raimi. Ooh, nice.
Which,
I've had Fruit Smash. It's another like ultra hard seltzer. It was like 8%.
This one's like 6.9.
Nice.
It doesn't taste much like a seltzer, but it's okay.
And then his webs go out. It's all like stress. Ouch. But it's all stress related because he has, organic web shooters. So,
I just love in No Way Home when he's like, I did have a wet block, just existential crisis.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield's like, oh yeah, don't tell me.
Oh, and
don't even tell me about it.
In the extended version they just released again in theaters, there's a part where Andrew Garfield asks him, "Can I see the holes?" And then Toby just kind of looks at him like, "What the fuck?" But yeah, that's an interesting take on it because obviously they didn't go with the web shooters, but they had to come up with a way to. Oh, that's a great scene.
One thing.
Let's talk about the suit. This version of the suit, which is the version they stuck with ever since. Yes, it is the cleanest, streamlined version, and I love it. It's got the brighter colors, but there is something about the first one that I
like.
I really like because
it feels a little bit more homemade.
Slightly
more homemade. Yeah.
But this is still like my mind's eye of movie Spider-Man, at least.
Yeah, I do like one detail I noticed in No Way Home was that when he's like in his youth pastor,
He rides at the crotch.
and
isn't that guy the most 2004 guy?
Oh yeah.
The earring, the hair.
Very
the hair.
poor guy. I'm a little bit offended because Other than the earring, I kind of dress like that sometimes.
Yeah, but your tie doesn't match your.
Oh no, yeah, I don't bother matching.
Yeah.
That's just because I live.
Okay,
in Durango.
what kind of advertisement? That looks like someone made a texture mod and it just replaces the whole wall.
Oh yeah, they didn't.
You know what I
They
mean?
didn't scale it properly. Yeah. No,
Like,
but
what
I
kind
really
of ad
liked
is
in No
that?
Way Home when he pulls down his collar and shows he has a suit underneath. It's like the low-rided collar.
Yeah.
Because like even though when he takes off his mask, it goes up onto his neck. In the scenes where it shows him like pulling his shirt off to like change. It's like a low ride collar.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
I never noticed.
yeah. So it's like they're consistent with what the suit looks like underneath his clothes in No Way Home.
Nice.
Yeah, because there's a scene like at the end of Spider-Man 1, they show him like running down the street and he pulls open his shirt and it's like the Spider-Man suit's like a low ride collar because it hides underneath the collar of his shirt.
Oh.
Which makes no sense because when he takes off his mask, when he's in the suit, the collar goes higher up on his neck like a turtleneck.
Wow.
So where does that
very
little,
fascinating?
Where does that
Colton.
little middle part come from?
I don't know, Colton. I don't know.
Um,
This is where she leaves them on voicemail. Remember when people had answering machines?
yeah, I do remember.
We had a
answering
home phone,
machines.
but I don't think we had an answering machine at home.
Yeah, we had an answering machine.
I don't think we ever had one.
Yeah, I still have my home phone number from when I was a kid. It is the phone number I use for City Market when I'm getting my
There you go.
the City Market rewards stuff. But it's a disconnected phone number now.
So you don't ever have to worry about getting like spam calls from them or anything asking about
Yeah, no.
the deals or whatever. Oh, so yeah, he tells her he's Spider-Man right here, but she doesn't hear it? I know, she just hung up on him, didn't she?
Yeah.
Dang. But what is this jacket? I mean, it looks like a warm jacket,
Yeah, it's like a parka.
but it looks like
type of
a
thing.
jacket I've never seen anyone wear.
Yeah, it's like a parka type thing. It's got like it's clearly got like the type of
He is wearing the low collar.
Yeah. But the jacket's clearly got one of those things where it's like the hood can kind of fit into the collar, right?
Yeah, something like that. Wait, did we miss his dad joke?
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah.
Well, anyways, it was such a dad joke about
I
the
want a
rolled
lab coat like
$20
that.
bills. So I got things to say about this. One, I love it. The arms and everything, and back then it was real arms, puppets. They had to puppeteer them. They had like 4 guys on each one.
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, there's parts where it's CGI, and you can point that out, but still very convincing here because it's practical. Now, I assume. Now, this is just an assumption. I assume they didn't actually put the needles into Alfred Molina's spine,
I'm assuming that.
but
as well.
who knows? And also, I love that this is his first time ever putting this thing on.
Yeah, he didn't
And
practice
why
it
did it
beforehand?
have to connect to his nervous system? Why couldn't he just have a controller, like a PlayStation controller or Xbox?
So he could control the arms telepathically.
But what if he just died? Like,
yeah, no,
what
yeah.
if-
Like, he should have tested this first.
Well, you don't. That's not really something you can test. I mean, once you put it in, it's in. You know. So he was just like, "I'm just gonna send this in front of a bunch of people."
So is this like he knew it was going to be permanent when he put the arms on,
I guess so.
and his wife was just like cool with that.
Yeah.
Like,
It doesn't look like you can just, and I love how the inhibitor chip thing is just like covered in plastic.
oh yeah,
It doesn't have like metal shielding or anything.
not protected in any way.
Like the arms, yeah, they're like titanium plated or whatever. And then this part, so he makes the fusion reactor. Well, he makes a sun.
Yeah.
And he's just gonna. Is this his job now? Just
He's
to
gonna
stand here?
Yeah, stand there and.
Tritium. That is a real element.
Or maybe the idea is that this is the prototype, and once he knows that it works, he can then like work on creating a version that he doesn't have to stand there like
that he can like
manage
replicate.
it. Yeah.
And I love that this is also because I assume he hasn't turned it on before.
Yeah.
Because I guess he needs the arms and he's got a steampunk goggles, but
well, they're welding goggles. Yeah.
I know, but you know,
which that does make sense to wear welding goggles.
But
nobody else has like
protection. They're just standing there. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make the sun.
He needs welding goggles because he's standing and like staring at a sun, but nobody else has any.
Yeah, I mean they're not too much further than him.
Yeah.
And there you have it. So his clap, jeez, that's such a meme. I've seen it in memes. There's a lot of memes from these, but yeah. So I know what's the plan now.
Yeah. Does he just let it keep going?
Power of the sun in the palm of my hand.
like if it didn't go wrong here,
I love how he uses that line.
Was he gonna shut it off for the the presentation, or was he just gonna like turn over his shoulder and be like, "You guys can go now"?
Yeah, I'm gonna be here a while.
Yeah,
make sure nothing goes haywire, and it immediately goes haywire. Starts magnetizing everything. Sorry if your family heirloom just went and melted into the
yeah
my little son.
What if this was all just a plot for him
So
to
Larry
steal
would love
everyone's
Doc
jewelry?
Wait, to steal their jewelry? I don't think that works out.
Yeah, like what if the sun thing he made wasn't like a real sun thing and it was just like a big magnet for him to steal everyone's jewelry?
Oh, I love this part. So he saves them, and then he says immediately, "Damn, that's a good suit." Big little solar flare. There we go. And geez, man, I mean, this went to shit really fast. Ouch! Right in the eyes.
So did she just get like
killed?
Like, I was gonna be like, did she just get decapitated by the
No, Colton.
by a big glass pane?
No, it goes all the way in her brain, I assume, though. And there you have it. Oh, and I'm drinking. I forgot to mention. I just finished from Upslope Brewing their limited mango lime sour ale. That was delicious. Nice. And I've got some classic Coors Banquet.
I'll trade you a hard seltzer for a Coors.
I'm good.
You sure?
I'm seriously good. I don't know. Which flavor is it?
Black cherry. Doesn't taste
No,
like
I'm good. I'm good. I don't like cherry stuff.
It tastes more like a Mike's Lemonade, to be totally honest. They're okay.
That kind of interests me then.
Here, you can take a sip from this one.
No, that's okay. Cooties. And I've also got some Tennessee Fire from a few episodes ago.
Nice.
Or a couple episodes ago. Oh, here's a great scene. This is the horror sequence.
We had a lady at my store the other day who we do delivery, and she tried to order 2 of the really big bottles of Tennessee Fire. We didn't have them. And then she ordered a bunch of like the pint-sized bottles of Tennessee Fire.
Oh, jeez.
And I thought she was probably having like a party or something, needed Tennessee Fire for some reason. No,
Nope.
it's just one lady.
For her.
Yeah.
She knows what she wants.
Yeah.
So yeah, here's the Sam Raimi horror sequence because he always has to have one in all his movies.
I love this scene.
And also, I think they would be at that a while with that saw blade. Unless they went, maybe in between. And there it goes. I love that this shows that he doesn't need to be conscious for the arms to be working.
Yeah. Makes him dangerous.
I also love that all the dangers
And it
taken
explains how he can definitely have a concussion from Spider-Man punching him.
and still keep going.
Still keep fighting, yeah.
But yeah, this is brutal. He murders all these doctors. So this bit, it's a classic trick, but with her nails grinding on the floor.
Oh, yeah.
I think there we go. That's just wax on the floor.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, they just put like a coat of
That's
wax
cool.
on it or something. This guy, here's a little Evil Dead moment. Chainsaw. There you go.
Nice.
I mean,
I love a good
good attempt. But then they
I
all
think
go at this
it's
guy.
really important
They
when
all go-
establishing a villain in a movie that you establish them as as a bad guy, right? And a lot of Marvel movies do this thing where they wait until like halfway through the movie to give you a scene like this where the bad guy does an evil thing.
But this is introduced fairly quick.
Yeah,
and
it gives you a
also-
scene right off the bat that shows he just murdered a bunch of people.
Well, he didn't.
Yeah.
The tentacles did. Because Otto was never a bad guy, but then that reminds me of the Darth Vader scene.
Oh, yeah.
But it's like a mad science monster, like Frankenstein's monster. I really like the take of it. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
When he flips the taxi and that poor driver. Shit. And that guy, there was a guy in there. Did you see that? There was a guy in that car he smashed.
Well, I imagine, you know how later in the movie he shows up and everyone's standing around just watching him fight Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Right? I imagine if you were in that taxi that he flipped over, if you survived, you probably would have learned your lesson right now. And if you saw him come around the corner, you would be like, I'm fucking out of here.
Yeah.
Man.
And he found this really decrepit port or whatever.
Good evil guy.
No, it's a
build
perfect evil layer.
yeah. That's really important, is to have a layer if you're a villain.
But I love how threatening he is and powerful he is in this. But then in No Way Home, Tom Holland just hooks up the Bluetooth and has control of it. It's like, damn, that's probably Dr. Octopus.
I have seen people.
Wait. Doctor Strange. And that, obviously, it's a coincidence because they didn't plan all this shit out way back then. There was no MCU. But it's super freaking just cool that they do a Doctor Strange reference in Spider-Man 2. And then Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange is the crux of the whole plot.
Yeah.
And he brings the villains from this universe in. And you have J.K. Simmons.
Yeah.
It's just synergy, Colton. Don't answer that. I love that. I love how he just interrupted him immediately. I think there's a meme right here. Pay me advance. I see that meme everywhere. Yeah. Oh, jeez.
I love that.
Great. Here we go.
I've never had a boss that's willing to
Here's his
pay me
monologue.
in advance.
Here's his monologue.
I wonder if
Yeah, Rosie's dead.
This is great. He's so great. I wonder how much of a priority he put on finding a cool trench coat. And,
Well, the costume,
a cool costume to wear.
the costume team did that.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean
Not Alfred Molina.
I mean.
Oh, you're
Doc
talking
Ock.
in universe.
In universe, Doc Ock, because you have this scene, and the next time you see him is when he
It
goes
looks
to,
like a
he goes to
wool-
rob the bank, and he's wearing a cool trench coat.
Oh yeah, he's wearing a fedora.
Yeah,
Lady.
Did he go out and like steal a trench coat? And a
He
fedora?
must have. He had to have.
Like, yeah. Where did he?
Or no, did he go and buy it with the tentacles? No, he stole
Or did he
it.
have it in his or his house, and he just went back to his house? Maybe.
That's a possibility.
But if that's the case, why didn't he go back to his house now?
Well, because he had to hide. He had to hide. I mean, he's a man with 4 giant
He
tentacles
also
on
did
him.
like
He's
murder.
not the most
people.
conspicuous, you know. And he did murder like
He's probably
at least 8 people already.
Yeah, probably wanted.
Well, he probably left no witnesses.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no witnesses, but when the police show up and see, hey, everyone,
A bunch
in
of
this-
dead surgeons
all of these surgeons are
and the taxi
murdered,
drivers.
and the patient isn't here. Maybe we find out who was the patient.
Yeah, they would find out.
They would
find out.
He would at least be wanted for.
See,
for questioning.
I love the AI here with the arms because they're the one that tells them to steal things and to be a criminal.
Yeah.
I love that. It's really weird and zany because it's like
I love this shot here.
their goal is to build the sun, but they're like, we're gonna be cool while we do it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna rob a bank
We're
just
gonna
like
do crime.
we're gonna do crime. We're gonna rob a bank just like in GTA. And that scene's coming up actually. Oh, he's in Community.
Yeah, Joe McHale.
Yeah.
Joel McHale. Yeah, right. Sorry.
Him and Emily Deschanel both got a lot bigger roles now. I'm watching this series. It's really not that good, but it's fun. Devil in Ohio, and Emily Deschanel is like one of the main characters in that.
Huh.
And it's cool to see like kind of where actors kind of get their start, where they get a little small role, and then they eventually land. You know, they land the role they wanted. Or maybe not the role they wanted.
He's in stuff every once in a while now.
Yeah, he's in a lot of stuff.
He's not in a lot of stuff nowadays.
Well, but he is in a lot of stuff, though, just not nowadays.
Yeah. His biggest role was Community.
And yeah, Rosemary Harris, Aunt May. Oh, here we go. Yeah, the fedora, the trench
where
coat.
did he get that? Like,
And banks don't just have a vault out in the open like that. But this is what I love about it. It's so comic book. You know what I mean? This is exactly what you would see in a comic book.
yeah. There's a giant vault door.
It's very interesting because in one instance, they kind of ground it in reality of the suit designs and everything. But then the actual acting and action of it is comic book.
That is a super cool trench coat.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
Milady.
I definitely want one just like it.
Doesn't come with arms, though.
I would never wear it because
Oh, I would wear it. I would totally wear it in the winter.
I probably wouldn't wear it that often.
Oh,
'cause
and
it's a
I
little
love how they
eccentric,
have
maybe.
golden, like, doubloons.
Yeah, why are there
What?
just gold coins?
It's like Scrooge McDuck, you know?
just like a big pile of gold coins and bags in the vault. That's how banks operate.
So his powers are kind of back, but not really all the way.
Yeah, he's just having trouble with his powers.
I love the moment from Amy. Oh, this is a good bit. See, Toby, people, you know, yeah, Andrew Garfield probably had the best one-liners to Spider-Man, but Toby, there's like a certain kind of corniness to it that really fits in with Spider-Man,
Yeah,
and it just works. And
I think Toby and Andrew Garfield have some of the best like one-liners.
well, here's
Because it comes off as like Toby's actually joking around with it.
yeah.
Tom Holland has some good one-liners, but
And
it
then
comes
Andrew
off,
can be a jerk a
Yeah.
lot of time. But
Like,
here, I've said this. I'm pretty sure I've said this before on the podcast, but I've said it outside of the podcast. To me, Tobey Maguire is to Spider-Man as Christopher Reeves is to Superman. Like,
yeah,
they're the iconic, classic versions. You know what I mean? Not that there's not just as good actors like Andrew or Tom, or like in the case of Superman, Henry Cavill, and even Brendan Ralph did pretty good. But you know,
Yeah, I like
this is my first experience with Spider-Man, and oh, this is such a great scene on the building.
Butterfingers.
Man,
I like
be
that.
glad he didn't Gwen Stacy Aunt May there.
Oh, yeah.
Oof. Oh, she
No,
hooks on the statue.
I think that Tom Holland has some good one-liners, but it comes off. Oh, there's Stan.
Stan, yeah, he gets a quick little. He didn't really have a big cameos back in this era, but he was always in them.
Yeah, he was still there.
His first cameo was in the Trial of the Incredible Hulk in 1988, I believe.
Yeah.
And Daredevil was also in that.
Sorry, phone.
That's a cool ringtone, but it
Thank
better
you.
not bleed into the thing because that's fine.
Should be copyright.
But this is
free.
good fight. Okay.
It's the Liberty Bell.
And the CGI, it's dated, but it still works. You know what I mean? Like,
it
it's not too
works,
distracting. Like, I'm not like, ugh, that's so bad.
they apparently
This was 2004.
They
Dude,
for the CGI on the
I
arms.
love the fighting in this. This is the best fighting. Besides the Green Goblin fight,
Yeah.
it's so good.
So for the CGI artists for the arms in this, apparently they
she lands on the
studied
thing.
the movement of snakes
That makes sense.
and used that as reference.
And octopuses,
Well,
obviously. I
no,
would
they
assume.
not octopuses.
Snakes.
Snakes.
Huh.
Because the arms don't move like an octopus's arms. They
Because the
move-
octopus is fluid.
yeah, they move
you
like
know.
snakes.
Yeah, that
Like
makes
four
sense.
individuals. Yeah.
Oh, this is such a great part. And when I remember when I saw this with my dad, he was like, "Oh, that's like Superman, right here when he does the slingshot."
Yeah.
Dang.
No, but,
why didn't? Oh yeah, he did try to use that on Tom Holland, but it hit his nano suit.
Yeah. No, I was saying like Tom Holland
And Aunt May totally
has some really good one-liners, but it comes off more like Tom Holland just likes to talk a lot while he's fighting.
No,
Not like he's actually being
Toby
quippy.
Spider-Man is, for the most part, very serious when he's
Yeah.
fighting. He's a brawler.
Yeah,
He
Tom
throws
Holland doesn't-
punches.
Tom Holland doesn't come off as quippy. He just comes off as he just talks a lot while
But
fighting.
like until the fight,
but
wait,
he's actually quippy.
until the fight with Green Goblin with Tom Holland, he doesn't really throw big punches.
no, not really.
He doesn't really need to until then. But Toby's, when he's fighting a villain, he's going full force. I mean,
His first villain was Green Goblin.
yeah, so he had a
He
rite
had to
of
learn how to
passage.
brawl real quick.
Yeah, and he's a good bro, and great scene. But like that still holds up. That totally still
yeah,
holds up.
yeah.
But yeah, Toby is a brawler. His Spider-Man, and I love that. Well, here's something I wanted to say about that fight and the future fights, and also in the extended edition, they extend on basically all the extended parts as the fights.
Yeah.
And there's a part where they go into that building during that scene, and Spider-Man's just pummeling Doc Ock in the face. And there's another part. Well, I'll save it, but in the comics, they kind of actually they do address this a bit. But let's be real. Doc Ock, yeah, his arms very powerful and everything. They very strong and they can stretch, whatever. Have all the different little hidden knickknacks. But Otto is just a human man, just a man in his 40s
Yeah.
or his 50s. There's nothing changed about his physiology. Like Green Goblin, okay, he basically had like kind of a super soldier serum situation. So it makes sense why he can go toe to toe with Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But realistically, if Spider-Man punched Doc Ock in the head,
He could kill Doc.
he would
Ock.
kill him.
Yeah.
I mean, in one punch, if it was a big serious punch, and those look like serious punches to me.
Oh yeah.
And I don't want to.
Toby doesn't look like he holds back.
I don't
his
want to
punches quite
plagiarize.
as
I don't want
much.
to plagiarize here, because the Weekly Planet said the same thing. But our Mr. Sunday movies in the Weekly Planet, but he should have never landed a punch.
Yeah.
The tentacles should have blocked it every time or something.
Yeah.
Although
It would make more
it
sense. that
wouldn't
way,
be
but-
as cool. I mean,
Yeah.
I do like that they brawl, but when you think about it, it's like, yeah, Spider-Man could just kill Doc Ock. I mean, but it also is canon in the comics that he holds back his punches. But like you said, I really don't think Toby is. I think,
Yeah, no. At least he's,
especially when Doc Ock's going after Aunt May.
yeah, no, he's not. He doesn't strike me as he's concerned about that type of thing.
Oh, here's a great James Franco, Harry Osborn moment. And we know about the stuff of James Franco. We're just trying to enjoy the movie here. Nothing actually happened, but it was just very creepy, bad stuff that you shouldn't do.
Nothing was ever confirmed, but he did pay people off, which does not look good.
What we do know is that he was talking with underage minors.
Yeah, and he paid them off basically, which that doesn't make you look innocent.
No, but
Not
as
saying
far
he
as
did
we
it.
know, nothing actually happened. But
Also, have you heard that he's gonna play?
I heard he is making a comeback again.
he's gonna play Fidel Castro.
And here's
I knew that would
well,
stop
here's the
you
thing.
for a second.
Even
there.
with the allegations side, and I know it's bad. You should never talk to underage, especially if you know. Yeah, I can understand if you don't know, but in this day and age, it's pretty easy to find out.
Yeah, I've known a couple people where like they've been out in the town and they were talking with someone.
There's
and
nothing
they
wrong
didn't
with
realize they were
accident.
underage.
Yeah, there's
but those people, as soon as
stopped.
they realized, were like, "Oh shit, I'm out of here. Leave me alone now." Bye. Like,
But James Franco being a rich, esteemed actor, and here's the thing: it's so hard for me because one part, I think he's really before the allegations. He's really become a well-rounded actor. Like
I think
with
he's a great actor.
his role as
He was Tommy.
oh,
Wiseau-
here he is.
Tommy
Wiseau. That was great. We watched that together.
Oh, he.
Disaster Artist.
I like in this. He didn't even like butter.
No,
him
he
up
immediately
before.
started into it
Where's Spiderman?
because he's drunk. And
next time I see
he's such a dick.
Next
Like,
time
why
I
would you
see
be
you at a
friends with
bar,
this guy? And he
Jackson-
slaps him. He slaps him twice here. Watch. Like, dude. Peter Parker is showing so much restraint because he could totally just like flick him in the head and just knock him out.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
no,
Spider-Man is strong enough. A flick
and
in
also
the forehead would knock you out. Yeah.
Also, I love that because I think in the first movie he would have dodged it because it's just his natural reflex. I think by now he learned not to show his powers off because
he's better at controlling his powers.
when he
to
first
that
got his
point,
powers in high school, it was just a natural knee-jerk reaction with Flash.
yeah.
But this, he
knows how to blend.
in this,
in.
he's like, I got to take the hit because if I do a cool move, then that's going to draw suspicion.
Yeah.
But also, what
Harry
an
would
asshole.
definitely be like, what the fuck was that?
So this is his existential crisis. He's really depressed here. And yeah, I love the suit. I think.
Jackson, next time I walk into a
people
bar,
are kind of divided on this.
Next
what do you
time
think of his lenses, his eyes, the Spider-Man eyes? For one, I really like him.
I like him.
I don't think that's what I really like Tom Holland's lenses because they move and they have the more classic look with the comics. But with this suit,
it's just it
has an intimidating look because it's these sharp.
Like you said, he's like the Christopher Reeves, but for Spider-Man.
Yeah.
know? It's the Christopher Reeves Superman suit. Honestly, is stupid, but
No, it's not. Hey, Colton, I have to disagree with you on that one. The Christopher Reeves Superman suit is the most accurate Superman suit we've got.
But it's still stupid.
Well, because the Superman suit is.
Yeah, but I love it though.
Does it have the emblem on the cape?
No, it doesn't have the emblem on the cape.
Are you sure about that?
I could be wrong about that.
Because that's how I prefer my Superman capes.
Audio went out.
Huh?
I'm gonna look this up because audio on my.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah,
There we go. But yeah, I prefer my Superman capes with the emblem on the back. Just like Spider-Man. He has the logo on the back as well because if you see him from behind, that's what she said. But
no, it does not.
Have
he's
the Spider-Man
emblem on the cape.
It doesn't?
No.
I swear to God it did.
I guess there's a version of it that does.
I'm pretty sure it does.
Okay, so it
does.
At least in one of the movies it does.
Maybe
But
in two.
I'm seeing versions where it doesn't. So maybe it's just like in some of the movies it does, but some of it doesn't.
Well, either way, that's how I prefer my Superman. I actually
agree with that,
first
yeah.
I thought it was stupid. Like, well, why does he need the emblem on the back? But it's kind of the same situation with Spider-Man. you know who it
sexy
is.
Boy.
It's a great suit, actually.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be, you know, the kind of corny comic book suit.
Yeah.
It's just a spandex. They don't add, they just directly take the comics and put it on screen.
That's the thing is, that's not always a good thing.
No, but here's the deal. That's what always people want. But as soon as they do that, then they're like, ugh, that's lame.
People don't know what they
like
want.
with Daredevil.
Yeah.
He's going to be in She-Hulk at some point, probably the last episode. We know how these shows go because they're really, some of them are okay, some of them are not that good. But with the Disney Plus Marvel shows, because I'm going to be real, a lot of them kind of been disappointing me lately. Moon Knight kind of disappointed me. Yeah. I loved Oscar Isaac's performance.
Oscar Isaac's amazing and everything.
But they didn't go as hard into the brutality, and I don't know. It just felt a little rushed at the end. Yeah. But the thing about it is, with She-Hulk, Daredevil has his yellow and red suit.
Yeah.
Which is his first appearance suit.
Yeah.
And people always been saying, "Oh, I would love to see that" and everything. But as soon as they do it, now they're like, "You should go back to the red or red and black."
The thing is, people don't know what they want.
And as soon as they get what they think they want, then they want something else.
Yeah, that's why Marvel has people who are in charge of like.
Now this is kind of right here. This is kind of a Ben Solo, Han Solo moment. Where it's not actually the ghost of Uncle Ben, it's the memory of Uncle Ben. I think. I'm
90% sure. It is a Sam Raimi movie, so you never know.
It could be the ghost of Uncle Ben.
I think you're right, though.
But I think he's just kind of thinking about this moment and like, what would Uncle Ben say? You know, that kind of thing. And yeah, best Uncle Ben, and I love Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen's
Apocalypse Now, yes. Yeah. But his Uncle Ben, which he was a good Uncle Ben, but for some reason they were too scared to use the great power comes great responsibility line, and it comes across as the Amazing Spider-Man movie where he's just like, if you have an ability, you ought to use that ability for good.
Not use that line in that movie?
No, they didn't.
Oh.
He goes around it. He says like, if you're a powerful person, you ought to use that power for a good reason.
Maybe I didn't notice that because I kind of just tune out Uncle Ben deaths at this point.
Well, in that movie, it was really quick on his death. Like he gets shot, and it is.
It's an underwhelming death scene.
It's literally.
I like Martin Sheen. I like that version of Uncle Ben.
And I like the Amazing Spider-Man movies, and we're gonna get to those eventually. But he gets shot, and he's like, "Oh, I'm shot," and then he's Spider-Man.
Yeah. Also, the circumstances are not as cool.
Oh, and here we go. This is the iconic shot. Replicates the comics of Spider-Man No More, where he throws it in the suit and trash bin.
Oh yeah, I love how when it fades
the lenses.
Out, the lenses
yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, what do you?
No,
BJ Thomas raindrops in this scene. This is where we get the hot dog.
Jackson, I was trying to say earlier though. Next time I walk into a bar and you're there, and I'm a little drunk, a little swifty, I'm gonna walk up to you. You're like, "Where's Spider-Man, Jackson? He killed my father. Where is he? Where's your friend?"
Okay, here's the deal. Like, oh, he doesn't have his powers. Now he's carefree. He's a nerd again, but he's happy about it. Do you like him more when he's sad or more when he's happy?
He looks so punchable when he's happy.
But he's punchable in both phases.
It's why I like him as Peter Parker, though, is because he's so punchable.
He's the most unassuming guy. He's just a normal
Peter
looking...
Parker is supposed to be a
and not that Toby's like an ugly guy. Or he's like a pretty handsome dude, like for our standards. But like compared to Andrew Garfield, I mean, Andrew Garfield like is a model basically.
He would blend in.
But he's just the hot dog.
Yeah,
I love. Apparently, that was a vegan. It was a tofu dog.
Oh.
He's not a monster, Colton. But
I was not questioning that based off of
the allegations. But
I love the memes.
And he was going to be the lizard at some point. Obviously, he's missing an arm. He's Kirk Connors, and he's going to his classes. He's doing good. Like,
I've
but
never had a professor
I hate it.
chase me down after class and say, excellent work, keep it up.
I actually have.
I've never had a professor
Not chase me
do
down
that.
after class, but it was actually, and I hated this class, but I did good in it because I had to do good at it. You know what I mean? It was in business writing or whatever it was called. I forget what it was called now, but I got an A in it. But the professor, I bumped into him and he was like, you know what? When you first started, you were kind of having trouble, but you've really picked up. You're doing good. And that was like that moment for me.
That's professor speak of saying, when you first started, I thought you were an idiot.
Oh yeah.
But
Well, no,
turns out you're not.
No, he was a more genuine professor out of a lot of professors I had, because he knew that a lot of us was taking it just because we had to. It was a credit we needed.
Yeah.
And
No, I've had professors like be nice to me and like say good job, and there's professors I have a close relationship with.
but like you bumped
But,
into
like,
him after class?
Yeah, I've never had a professor like in the hallways be like, you did good in class today.
I mean, I have
never
a
had
couple,
that.
honestly, because one of my poli-sci professors, one of my main ones that I had for a lot of my classes, he was in the first part of my seminar. He's just a really nice guy, and me and him would talk for a while after class. I don't know.
Oh, I've talked with professors. But
But I know what you mean, like
relationships, but
chase you down and be like, yeah.
The most like thing related to class a professor has said to me in the hallways, I've had professors pass me by and be like, are you done with your paper yet?
Yeah. But here's the bit where now, yeah, in this scenario, Peter is being very clingy and weird because she's getting married, and he's like, "But I'm different now." It's like, man, a little too late. And also, I mean, there's other fish in the sea, man. I mean, he's so hung up on Mary Jane,
Yeah.
but that is like
Get
the comics.
over it, Peter.
That is like the comics, though. He is hung up on Mary Jane.
Yeah.
After
his flaws, but-
after Gwen Stacy dies, but Gwen Stacy doesn't show up until Spider-Man 3 in this.
Yeah.
And what's funny though,
it's
what's
one
so
of his
weird,
flaws,
and I'm
but,
sure
like-
I'm gonna repeat it when we do Spider-Man 3, because I'll have to. Gwen Stacy is Mary Jane in this. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
She acts
pretty
just like Mary Jane from the comics.
Yeah.
The whole vibe.
No, I mean,
But this Mary Jane, not that she doesn't really act like Gwen Stacy from the comics, but she's not as carefree and wild as the Mary Jane in the comics.
yeah.
When we get the Gwen Stacy played by Bryce Dallas Howard, she is like the Mary Jane from comics, and that always threw me off. I was like, man, they like got it reversed.
No, I kind of wanted to say, like, you know, Peter's hung up on Mary Jane.
And I love how he had his
which-
glasses off
but
for that.
It's kind of like a thing that I like about Peter Parker as a character is he's not a perfect guy. He's a character that you have moments in the story where you go, "No, Peter, stop!" Like,
Well,
you're yelling
he's a-
at him. You're yelling at the screen to be like,
that's exactly what Spider-Man's about. I mean,
yeah, because he's realistic in that way.
yeah, when he puts on the suit, he's a righteous,
but
hero.
he doesn't
But
always do everything you want him
when-
to do because he's
when he's
written
out
in
of
a
the
way
suit,
where
well,
he's a real person.
for one, he's supposed to be a 20-ish-year-old guy, even though he's like closer to 30 in this. But he's got real life problems, and he's not perfect, and he has those like urges and stuff. But I know I love this guy that brings a suit. Give him $100 and a bar of soap
Do they have bars of soap hanging around
in
at
New
the
York.
office- at their office?
I guess that's it. Unless you had to like go to the local market, which he would totally make her do that.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
Spider-
definitely
and
a thing.
Spider-Man No More. That's the comic.
Yeah.
She actually does better on this version. She's practiced.
Yeah, she's not
You know what
quite
I mean?
as out of tune on the singing. Yeah.
Yeah.
She is just plucking one note on the violin.
Yeah, and that's
which
just
makes me
lazy.
wonder: did they just
Oh, and I forgot to mention
get like
Ted
an
Raimi.
extra
He's
and
the.
give her a violin and say, "Hey, do this thing."
I don't know how that's. Okay, there's actually a scene in the new Spider-Man game, but it's with Miles, and he walks by a guy getting beat up.
Nice. Yeah.
But it's before he has the powers, but he wants to do something about it.
I love Miles Morales. He's a great character.
and I believe the gravestone looks just like that in the game. Actually,
Oh wow, yeah.
yeah. There's a lot of homages in that. I will say the glasses make him look younger.
They do, yeah.
Interesting. Typically, glasses would make you look maybe older. But I guess it depends on the lenses, you know? Or not the lenses, the frame. Frame.
Yeah, it depends on the frame.
Anyways, I have some trivia. This is from earlier when he flipped over the car. So at around this is for IMDb. At around 24 minutes, when Peter flips over an oncoming car, Tobey Maguire performed a stunt himself.
Ooh.
A stuntman also performed it, but Sam Raimi thought Maguire's looked more natural, so he used his instead. Well, of course, his would look more natural because it's him.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cool.
I mean, on wires and everything, but still. He didn't actually flip over.
I like it when actors do their own stunts.
Well, speaking of which, Rosemary Harris, Aunt May, enjoyed doing her own stunts.
Nice.
And you can tell, like, that's her in the sequence, the wall sequence.
Yeah.
But Alfred Molina didn't because he claims he's not very good at them and he doesn't want to take work away from real stuntmen.
That's respectable, too. I don't know. I hit or miss on, like, actors doing stunts. Recently been in the news a lot. Brendan Fraser's making a little bit of a comeback.
Oh, this would have been so good.
And Brendan Fraser has been on record. Yeah, but he's been on record saying that like he had to get spinal surgery because of his injuries from doing his own stunts on the Mummy. And stuff.
It was
because he was so insistent on doing his own stunts.
And that's awesome, but yeah, it really fucked him up though.
Yeah.
Oh, and yeah, this is when he tells her about what really happened. Here, I'll be quiet on this scene so you guys can enjoy it. I'm going to drink my beer.
That is a moral question there, like legitimate moral question. Are you responsible due to inaction?
The law says so.
The law does, but
morally,
yeah. If you have the chance to stop someone from dying and you don't, are you responsible for their death?
But that's unknowing, though. He didn't know. He had no idea that would have happened.
But nonetheless, though.
I think it's your fault if you know the consequences. But if you don't know, I don't think you can put that on somebody.
It's like, are you familiar with the trolley?
The trolley problem.
The trolley problem. Yeah. There's...
but that's a completely different scenario, though.
But it falls into the same situation where the trolley is going towards.
You can redirect it to run over, let's say one guy or a group of people.
No. Well, the trolley question is it's going towards a group of people. If you do nothing, it will run over that whole group of people. You can divert it yourself to only run over one person.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if you don't do anything,
So are you more morally responsible for the deaths of that whole?
But
group of
the
people
outcomes in that
due to your inaction, or is it worse due to your action cause someone to die? That's the question.
Well, but this scenario is different though because he didn't know.
Yeah,
it was an unforeseen circumstance, but you would still be wondering.
Or I did see someone
because the chances of Uncle Ben being there and getting killed. I mean, that probably never crossed his mind. You know what I mean?
I did see online.
Oh, and he's building this and I love
the design.
How did he built that quick? I know he's got the arms, but so he stole the money and then he just bought the equipment?
I suppose he did, yeah. That's
presumably on the black market. Maybe that's why he needed
presumably
a lot of money.
Or maybe he got some homeless people and said, "Here's $50. Go to the hardware store for me."
I don't know if you can find that.
Here's money. Go to the hardware store. You can keep $50 for yourself. If you don't come back, I'll kill you.
That looks like DARPA. I don't know technology. I don't know. Weird.
No, but
here's a good bit.
I did see a video online of these people built a model train where it had two tracks, and they got it so the train drifted on both tracks. And this person was like, "There's the solution to the trolley problem: just do a sick drift and kill everyone."
Leave no witnesses. Yeah. So Alfred Molina.
Leave no witnesses.
Alfred Molina lost some weight for the role of Doctor Octopus, considering he had to gain some for the part of Diogo Rivera and Frida. He said he wanted Doc Ock to have the build of a 1950s weightlifter. That's.
I can see that.
Yeah.
He's kind of got that, like, he's...
Oh,
like,
shit.
He's not,
Jump scare.
He's definitely got that look of he's not skinny and or super buff, but he's not, like...
He's not just like a slob.
Yeah, he doesn't have, like, excess weight on him. He's just
a bigger guy, yeah.
Yeah. That is a cool coat. I also like James Franco's
You're
suit.
a hack.
It would look cool if James Franco, in that suit he's wearing, wore an overcoat like Doc Ock's coat. That'd be a cool, like, mobster look. Right?
Oh, here's a really good fun fact. So in the scene where Jameson offers the homeless guy $50 for the costume, he replies, I could get more for it on eBay. Well, in 2001, 4 Spider-Man costumes were stolen from the set of the first Spider-Man movie. They were eventually recovered after an 18-month investigation and the arrest of a former movie studio security guard and an accomplice, while Columbia Pictures offered $25,000 for information leading to their return. Movie memorabilia experts estimated the value of the costumes about $50,000 each.
Wow. I mean, this was during... It was about this period, maybe just.
Oh, and have you seen the bloopers on this scene with the?
Oh yeah,
the whiskey.
So there's it was about the
later?
time this movie was coming out, maybe a little bit before it, was a time where people were starting to take movie props and costumes seriously as like things worth money. You know, because throughout most of film history, movie props and costumes were treated like you made them for the movie, and once the movie was done being made, you threw them away, type of thing. And it was maybe in the 90s and early 2000s that they started treating them like they're worth money. So that would make sense that this would be like Columbia Pictures wanted to pay to get them back, type of thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool.
This movie took the record for the highest one-day opening on Wednesday from Lord of the Rings Return of the King.
Wow.
Beat it.
It's impressive.
Yeah.
I
love this bit
because
because
one of the most highest-grossing movies.
I know
when it came out.
Yeah,
it was like.
But I think this
did
beat it out.
1.14 billion or something like that. Not opening day.
You mean overall?
Overall, yeah. That was its box office overall. I can't decide whether I like this movie or Return of the King more. They're both just among my favorite
very different movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love this whole bit where he saves her without his powers. Because in the first one, it's the same scenario, and it's easy. Because he's Spider-Man. He swoops
Except
in.
for the part where Green Goblin is
Well,
there.
the Green Goblin, the fight. Yeah. But he swoops in, he saves the baby. But in this one, he's just a man. A man in his early 20s.
But he's a good guy, so he does his best. Even a regular person can be a hero.
Yeah, exactly. That's the point of it.
You just might die in the process.
Yeah.
If you're not really careful.
If not from burning in flames, from suffocation from the flame. I mean, from the smoke.
Yeah. Or from Willem
Dafoe. I love how she helps him here.
Or from Willem Dafoe jumping out and throwing knives in your face.
Well, that's a rare occurrence in Fires, but it can still happen.
Yeah. There's at least
so
one
Spider-Man 2
case.
ended up making $789 million.
That's very respectable, at least for that time.
Oh yeah, nowadays
it's crazy how much Marvel movies.
And its
make.
budget was $200 million. So yeah, it made its money
definitely
back.
Yeah.
Dang, $200 million.
I'm curious, since we were talking
I love how that guy says it right in front of him. It's like,
since we were talking about the Christopher Reeve Superman movies, I'm going to look this up. I'm curious about like the budget on those, like how, and then how superhero movies have gone up in budget, like, over the years.
Well, inflation too. Superman
1978 was a $55 million budget.
Yeah, now that would be considered low budget. Or not low budget, but that would be considered...
Wow. Okay.
Putting knives inside Doc Ock's tentacles was Sam Raimi's
so $55
idea.
million in 1978 has the buying power of today's equivalent of $249 million.
Oh wow!
According to Google.
inflation.
According to Google. I know inflation is not an exact, like it's
an estimate.
It's difficult to say exactly. That's why as
Okay,
as,
so remember earlier,
as a history major, we've had questions from people being like, what was like $12 in 1830 compared to today? And like the shorter answer
she's
is
so skinny.
like it's really hard to say.
and remember earlier, the Bleecker Street, that is Doctor Strange's address, where the pizza place is.
Oh,
So another connection.
So does that mean that
In this universe,
does that mean in this universe that Doctor Strange existed in the past?
Because because Ted Raimi said that name's taken.
Yeah, but then he went out of business and a pizza place took his plates. Or does it mean that Doctor Strange is around but hasn't built the Sanctum Sanctorum and he forces Joe's Pizza out of business to take that spot?
I have no idea.
Okay. Because they imply in the
but that's the connection to the
in
multiverse.
In Doctor Strange, this is probably not what they're actually going to do, but they imply that Fantastic Four might have existed in the past in the Marvel universe.
Oh, listen to this. This is the first, and as of 2020, and I think still, the only Spider-Man film to win an Oscar.
What did it win in? Does it say?
No.
Oh.
So I have to look it up. I wish they would say that. I mean, in the trivia.
I'm going to take a guess. Original score.
It could be score. No, but the score was
Danny Elfman.
Yeah, but when did that go to Spider-Man 1?
I mean,
because that's when the score first propped up.
But
it could still win that.
It doesn't mean that Danny Elfman didn't compose original.
No, but I feel like because the Doc Ock theme and everything. But I feel like
the theme is the same theme.
I feel like why wouldn't it get it in the first one? But it won Best Visual Effects.
Oh, okay. No, the main Spider-Man theme would have been reused from the first movie, but the rest of the movie has music that would have been
the Doc Ock theme and everything
would have been composed specifically for this movie.
No, yeah,
but
it didn't win for that Colton.
Yeah, damn. Visual effects. That makes sense. Makes sense. Makes more sense.
Following the first film's record-breaking 115 million opening weekend, Sony assigned a sequel budget of 200 million. That's why they assigned the 200 million. Wait, what did this one make?
Well, I think it benefited from a higher budget because I think the special effects in this movie were better than the original movie.
Well, the original one was also 2002 or 1.
It wasn't that much before this movie,
but also
to be like that big of a leap in special effects.
But this one also, I think, maybe required more special effects.
Thus the budget
for Doc Ock.
Yeah, thus the budget, which And
apparently, Willem Dafoe did show up on set and played Doc Ock.
Oh yeah, I've seen the videos of that. The story I've heard is that Alfred Molina didn't know that he was coming to set and walked into Willem Dafoe in costume and stuff.
So Spider-Man 2 opened in the United States on June 30th, 2004 and grossed $40.4 million its first day. This broke the first film's opening day record of $39.4 million until it was surpassed a year later by Revenge of the Sith, $50 million.
Nice. I like this scene. The theme.
Oh, it's a great scene.
The theme in Spider-Man that I love is that the idea that anybody could be a hero.
Yeah. Well, and that was the idea.
Heroes inspire.
That was one of the idea when Stan Lee and Steve Ditko created Spider-Man. That, and it was what the Marvel Comics had hated, that he was in a mask. Oh, he can't be in a mask. You gotta see his face. Oh, he can't be a teenager. They're only psychics. But Stan Lee wanted to make a realer, more grounded hero with real problems where he had to struggle to pay rent and he had to go to school and all this stuff. And the point of him wearing the mask, for one, it's cool looking, but also it shows that anyone could be a hero, anyone could be Spider-Man. You don't know who's under it. There's no, like, when he's in the Spider-Man costume, you don't know what race he is. You don't know if he's a man or even a woman, perhaps.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, you would assume he's a man.
Is it Spider-Man that... I could be confusing with a different hero. Is it Spider-Man that Stanley... The first appearance was not in his own comic. It was...
Well, there's a lot of heroes like that, but yeah, it was in...
it's because Stanley... Marvel didn't want to produce Spider-Man, so there was another comic series that was ending. So Stanley
he put it in Amazing Fantasy 15.
Yeah, because Stanley was like, nobody cares what goes in the last issue. So I'm gonna throw
he
in
put
this
Spider-Man
character I
there,
wanna
and
do.
then few weeks later, because it was the 60s, they got a bunch of letters in fan mail that was like, holy shit, we love Spider-Man. So boom.
I mean, seriously, Spider-Man is probably one of the most important superhero characters worldwide.
Superman set the standard, right?
Yeah.
The baseline.
But I would say, like, Superman and Spider-Man are the two most, like, as far as pop culture, not just
Batman,
not just American culture, but like worldwide.
And Batman too.
Superman, like superhero pop culture.
Superman, Batman, Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man's up there with them. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I know this is just objective numbers, but as far as like actual film or just as a money-making machine, Spider-Man has made the most money out of any superhero.
Oh, I know people that before the MCU started, the only Marvel characters they knew was Spider-Man,
maybe Wolverine,
Captain America, maybe Wolverine. Yeah,
not even Captain America, really.
I know some people.
He was very
Captain America,
D-lister at that point.
Yeah, which is saying a lot because Captain America has always been pretty important.
Oh yeah,
to Marvel.
yeah.
But even then, he was a D-lister because
in the
Marvel
90s
had kind of fallen out of.
In the 90s, Marvel went bankrupt, okay?
Yeah.
And they sold most of their properties to different studios, and they finally have reacquired most of them.
There was a period of time where the only Marvel characters people knew were the X-Men and Spider-Man.
X-Men and Spider-Man in the 90s, and Punisher a little bit, and Hulk was always, pretty popular.
Yeah, that's fair, yeah.
But I don't get what she's doing here. Okay, you're kissing him.
She's being
trying to see if
she's being weird, and she's trying to recreate the fetish of making out with Spider-Man.
Yeah, and
which is weird. Like, imagine if you were dating someone and they were basically like, "There's this thing my old boyfriend used to do.
Can we do that?"
You'd be like, "That's weird."
Like, fuck no, I'm not.
Like,
I'm not your old
boyfriend.
Yeah.
Like,
it is weird. Oh, and here's a really good scene, but also awkward, but also really good.
This is.
And luckily, this is
I know exactly what
vacant
you mean, but, like,
coffee
really
shop,
good, but also really awkward.
And also, she's wearing like the worst outfit. Is that mean?
It is a pretty bad outfit.
Just brown and just so boring.
Is it bad that, like,
and his outfit's boring too, but at least he's got a little color. I don't know. A little.
So what I was gonna say is, like,
but they're both nerds.
Is it?
Right
I was
here.
gonna say, I'm like, is it weird that, like, nowadays,
I used to not care about
getting into my
outfits.
mid-20s. I don't wear like stuff like band T-shirts quite as often anymore. Like,
Oh, I do.
I don't know why I don't. I just don't. But is it weird that, especially like when it's sweater season, I find myself dressing more and more like Peter Parker?
Well,
that bad?
for me, when it's cold in the fall and winter, that's where I wear fancier stuff or whatever.
Well, it's like
nice
how
jackets.
he's dressed right now.
Yeah, sweater.
I have dressed exactly like that to go to J-Bo's.
No, same here. But during the summer when
Except I'm cooler than him, and I pop the collar over the sweater.
Yeah, you pop it. Well, he pops it when he gets the black suit.
Yeah,
But-
I'm like black suit Peter. No,
Oh no, you don't
I'm
want to
not
be
nearly
you don't
as
wanna
cool as black suit Peter Parker.
Bully McGuire.
Yeah.
But no, I mean when it's hot though, I wear what is comfortable. I don't care really what I look like. I'll wear shorts and just a
same.
random t-shirt. But yeah,
That's why I like
that's
the winter,
why-
is 'cause I can wear all my cool clothes.
that's why fall and winter is my favorite, especially fall really because it's not super cold yet.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
And because spooky season.
Fall and spring.
Get
are
ready
the
for
best
Spooktober.
seasons, Yeah.
But fall's my favorite season because I get to wear my cooler clothes. I get to layer. I get to wear a cool sweater and then a leather jacket on top. But during the summer, I don't care because it's too hot. I'm not going to try to stylize.
T-shirts and shorts.
Yeah.
Sometimes pants. I'm wearing pants today.
Because people...
I wear pants when I'm working because I do landscaping and stuff.
Well, yeah, you want pants
the
for
week,
that
so I
kind
wear
of thing.
pants, but
Well, yeah, I still wear pants in summer sometimes, but I don't really care about what I look like as much.
yeah.
I'll be like, oh, I'll wear a cool shirt. But, in the fall, I'm like, oh, I'm going to layer.
I want to get some
And
more
his
cool...
powers come back because he did the jumping thing.
Oh,
Or no, he
yeah.
hasn't done the jumping thing yet. Oh,
No, he took a leap.
This was
he
in
took
the
a
trailer.
Leap of faith there, right?
this was in the trailer.
That is a cool shot. Yeah.
Yeah,
is an
I
ugly
remember
dress.
loading up the trailer on iTunes Movies or whatever it was called at the time, and it took like an hour to load up the trailer, and then you played the trailer, and that was it because there was no YouTube.
Yeah, I just remember seeing the trailer on TV.
Yeah, and seeing the wheel roll right over him. Yeah.
Yeah, I was.
Also, okay, wait.
When this movie came
let's
out,
analyze his logic here because he has some wacky logic throughout the whole thing. We've already discussed. He goes to Peter Parker to try to find Spider-Man, right?
Yeah.
And he proceeds to throw a car at him. Just knowing Peter Parker's a regular guy. He throws a car at him. That's his first instinct. He throws a car at him.
Yeah.
What are you going to do if,
What did he kill
you
him?
would have just killed him. You wouldn't get any information. You just threw a car at him. So he's just a lunatic. Screaming. Here's my main complaint. Oh, yeah, the CGI is bad there. But here's my main complaint with this.
Not too bad.
It's bad.
Yeah.
For our standards, at least.
It works. It still works.
We're expecting.
See,
But,
this shot here, if you pay a lot close attention, it's bad, but the overall shot looks
the way
good.
it's shot
Yeah.
hides it more. And yeah, I love when he busts out here. But yeah, he throws the car at him, and I love. Well, I don't. Going back to
that was a cool anger moment. I wish I've never had a moment where I had the chance to do a cool
in this movie
anger
they did
moment
the
like
whole.
that.
They did Superman 2 a little bit because in Superman 2 he gives up his powers. He gets them taken away. Or I forget. He does the weird the thing on the Fortress of Solitude.
I want to throw away the glasses, Peter. What if you need them again?
They're probably cheap.
I know he has
anyways.
more important things to worry about right
but
now.
and it's cool. It's
Yeah.
dramatic. But
I
it
love
does the
this,
Superman 2 thing where he loses his powers, he gets beat up,
Yeah.
and then he gets his powers again and everything. I love this part. He finally has a heart for him. His face there. He finally says it. Spider-Man was a hero.
Someone
And
should
then
have been
look.
recording.
And then he steals it. He steals it back. He's a criminal. He's right back to his old ways. He's a menace.
Pretty nice handwriting.
He does, and I assume he wrote it before.
Well, it's clearly printed in that close-up shot. It's
Oh, I thought it was just Sharpie.
No, well, it looks very much like printed. Like a font.
I don't know. It looked like marker to me. I don't know. But here's such an epic
just
part.
in that close-up shot, it looked like a font that's designed
Now,
to
all
look
the
like a
Spider-Man web swinging scene still holds up because they're not
yeah.
trying to do a CGI human face. It's just Spider-Man costume. So that's a lot easier.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot easier to fool us on. And then right here, boom, it goes to the real suit.
Cutting
Which looks
back
so
and
good.
forth between real shots and CGI shots makes the CGI shots look a little bit better.
Well, because then you
Often.
see the real suit, and then it seems more seamless that way. And then,
Unlike in,
right here is throwing straight up punches at him.
Unlike in Black Panther, with the fight at the end between Black Panther.
That's such a great
and,
movie, but that final battle,
it's
it
because-
looks like a video game.
And one of the problems is that it has the CGI action shots, and then it cuts to close-ups of the CGI characters.
It doesn't switch back to the
it
real
just
suit.
just doesn't work.
Yeah, that's the
love that
worst
movie,
part.
but
That's
the-
the worst part of the movie, though.
I love that movie, but yeah,
Everything up until then, so great. And I love this bit. Yeah.
this is a great fight
And
scene.
this is such a good sequence because the whole train thing was just a coincidence. They fall off the building, and then perfectly timed where they fall on the train.
Well, it's like
On
a
the
really
subway.
good fight scene in a movie. I mean,
Where one thing leads to another.
yeah,
like
exactly.
It snowballs.
Where it's like a character.
As it keeps escalating.
They're presented with a problem. They come up with so Spider-Man shoots webs at him. What does he do? He blocks it.
Yeah.
Problem, solution.
Oh, and the dodging right here,
Like
and
that.
and under the bridge.
Yeah.
Man,
And
it's just such a. It's still one of the best superhero fight scenes ever. Oh, and in between I mean that's rad. It's just so good, and he tackles him there.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. And now they're fighting on the side of it. Now in the extended edition, they make this fight a little longer, and there's a part where Doc Ock's holding him against the stop the signs, the train signs or whatever, and he's like bashing him into it, and then he legit just gets hit by a train,
Yeah.
and then he just comes back, keeps swinging. But they took that out of this part because I think they thought people wouldn't really believe in that, like he could just keep going. But
One
really,
thing-
Spider-Man could.
Another
but-
thing this fight scene does well. So the best fight scenes in any.
Oh, and
movie,
here's this bit where he's so good.
Yeah. Well, the best fight scenes in a movie are ones that ultimately
The
a
music.
fight scene needs to do the same thing that any other scene does, which is progress the story or develop the characters.
And this is literally moving the story
And it
forward.
moves the story forward. The end of this fight scene.
Oh, and I
is
love
like-
how he saves the people here, like really
Yeah.
quick, like he's on speed run mode.
like the end of this fight scene
Boom, web.
provides a character building moment for Peter. It tells you where Doc Ock is, like mentally at this moment,
And physically, boom, web.
Like it tells you about the characters and progresses the story, which is good. Like the best, in my opinion, best fight scene of all time. In
Okay,
any
that
movie.
CGI is a little funky.
You know, can you guess what I think is the best fight scene in any movie of all time?
I really have no idea. Indiana Jones versus the big guy, the Nazi,
No, that's a fun scene.
where he puts
but
him in the propeller.
That's a fun scene, but it doesn't actually do much. Is the fight between Inigo Montoya and Wesley
Oh,
in The Princess
yeah.
Bride. Because it progresses a story, it tells you about these characters previously in the movie you know nothing about really, but it tells you about who they are as people.
Well, because he literally goes through the whole his
Yeah.
story. Oh, you.
Yeah, it tells you even through like their banter and stuff like that and how they.
But this
fight.
one, what's
Tells
great
you
about
it.
this one,
this
it's
does the same thing.
Well,
It-
this
it
does the same thing,
progresses
but
the
differently.
character.
It's show don't tell.
Exactly.
They're
yeah.
not having a dialogue. It's
Well,
just
Princess
escalating.
Princess Bride does a show don't tell throughout the scene as well. But you're
No,
right. No,
but this is purely show don't show.
But this exactly what's happening.
not
right
having a
here.
dialogue.
He has to save the train. This is when
Yeah.
you ask someone what is one of the most Spider-Man moments. It's this scene.
And he makes funny faces, but he tries to do. And I remember my dad, because he's a huge Superman guy. He's like, "Oh, Superman would have no problem." I'm like, yeah, but that's no fun.
Yeah,
that's not
that's-
interesting.
What makes Spider-Man or what makes Superman a good character is not how he solves problems with his powers.
No.
It's who he is as a person.
Yeah, that's what makes him
Spider-Man is interesting
both.
because of both those things.
who he is as a person and
He's
how he solves problems.
solving while he's doing this stuff.
And then it rips off the building, and that's such a
Yeah.
good. Oh, and right here where he.
Yeah, he
And I love how he had-
throws the webs
and
out.
I love
doesn't
how-
work. What does he do next? He throws more webs.
No,
than last
this
time.
is such a good example of how a scene where one thing leads to another. First
Yeah.
they're fighting, but then Doc Ock pulls the thing out, and then oh shit, the train's going, and now he's got to stop the train, and then here we go, and he makes a funny face here, but it's still a good scene.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, put in your jokes here. Oh, taking a big poop. But I mean, I'm sure I would be making the same kind of face in that moment. If I'm trying to slow down a speeding train. But yeah, it is pretty goofy. Toby, he makes some historically goofy faces. Does he make any goofy faces in No Way Home? Not really.
I don't recall any goofy faces in No Way Home.
There is the My Back
I haven't
moment.
seen it in a few months though, so I don't know.
And we missed it. We totally talked over to My Back moment in this one.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe we missed that. That's the thing about commentaries. You stop paying attention to the movie. It's hard. It's harder than it sounds, guys. Okay, you try talking over your favorite movie.
I mean, yeah, it depends. It depends often on how familiar with the movie we are. We're obviously very familiar with this movie. With Twilight, for example,
And since we're not so familiar with that, we're going to be paying attention more.
I mean, the last Twilight commentary I had,
Which
that was
we
the
got
first time-
repost.
that was the first time I had watched that Twilight movie.
Yeah, there you go. And you were paying attention more.
Yeah.
And this one, we know everything that happens, so we kind of glazed over some things.
I
But
love that scene.
yeah, this great scene, the community of it, and before everyone had a camera, because nowadays everyone would be taking a picture.
Yeah.
But the point is, who cares? Because it's like, okay, he's just a white guy.
Yeah.
He's not like a famous person that everyone would know. It's not like people would be like, oh my God, he's Peter Parker. And he's just getting older than my son. No, he's maybe a couple years younger than you.
Yeah.
But yeah, this wholesome moment here. And yeah, those kids kept his mask somehow. I don't know how they caught that.
That kid is dressed like a young Guy Fieri.
He's dressed like every kid from that era. I had a shirt like that.
Which is young
In
Guy
that
Fieri,
era.
Yeah.
I had a shirt, no joke, dude. If I can find a picture of it, I'll show you. I had a shirt, and it was the worst material. I do remember. But it was a yellow long sleeve. It kind of looked like a motocross shirt, but wasn't quite that. And it was a yellow long sleeve shirt with black flames on it. Very similar to that. But I love how, because he just took his mask off and it went flying off the train. I don't know how they caught that.
The kids have superpowers.
I guess so.
Yeah.
And I love how always the suit gets torn up.
Yeah. I saw this meme
And I love-
online, which
and I-
was
I forgot
Tom
to-
Holland fixing his suit with
He's a famous
nanobots.
comedian. What's his name? Shit.
Huh.
He's on Joe Rogan all the time.
Oh.
Not Jim Florentine. Oh yeah, he totally could have broke a lot of their bones and stuff right there. No, not Joel McHale. I know he's in that. In the bank scene, but
There you go. There you go, Harry. There's Spider-Man. You've been wondering where he is the whole movie.
Joey Diaz.
Oh.
I can't believe I forgot him. But yeah, Joey Diaz. That was him. Where he was like, you have to go through me. And here he comes, Spider-Man, and coming for that big tritium. And I love how he just had that. But you know what this movie does well? It doesn't ponder on those kind of things. It's like, yeah, he just gets the tritium from Harry. You don't have to worry about how exactly he got it. He's rich.
Yeah.
I think
he's a rich
what
guy.
a lot of movies do wrong now, and
He's drinking Maker's Mark.
MCU included, Harry,
I'd figure
and
for
just
how
like
rich
his
you
father,
are, you'd be drinking a nicer whiskey.
because Norman drank Maker's Mark as well.
Yeah.
Same, but what I was going back to, and I think a lot of movies do this too much, where they try to explain every little detail. Like I said, show don't tell. You don't always have to explain everything, give exposition. Oh, he got the tritium because this, and it shows the scene of that. It's like, no, just
I appreciate when
get to the story.
I've been watching the new Rings of Power, and I appreciate that they do that. They don't tell you everything.
They do that, yeah.
Yeah,
They put
it's
you in
just-
this world, and they show
It's just
you.
refreshing.
Yeah, it's and they show you things that if you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, then you'll know.
Yeah.
But if you don't know all the books, then you won't know about the true trees or anything, because they don't talk about that in the movies. Why would they? They just show you the two trees, and then boom, Galadriel's like, oh, I was alive in the two trees. And that's what I appreciate, and this movie does it well, because it's a lot of moments where, yeah, you could ponder, you could ask, oh, how did he get that? Why? But it focuses on the story,
Yeah.
not the universe.
I like how Harry's like, Peter, you killed my father. He's like, there are bigger things happening.
Yeah,
Like,
he's like, just
I'm
stop.
like, Peter, you could have said, actually, I didn't.
That's all he had to say. I didn't kill your father.
Didn't kill your father.
I'll explain everything
Let's
after.
worry about this later. Yeah.
But no, he gets straight to, there's bigger things than that.
Yeah. But it could have taken
So he still leaves it.
a quick sentence there.
He still leaves it vague.
Yeah. Quick sentence say like, no, I didn't kill your father.
Oh, and I was gonna mention this earlier, but this is my main complaint with this trilogy. The crux of the villain's plot, or a big part of the villain's plot, is that Mary Jane is always the damsel in distress. She has nothing to do in these movies besides to be the damsel in distress.
Yeah, it's the Smurfette
That's why I like
character,
Gwen Stacy is more. I mean, Emma Stone's Gwen Stacy and Amazing Spider-Man. She's more of her. She's got her own initiative. She won't just stand around. But
MJ in the MCU is great.
Zendaya. Yeah.
She's
very
it's,
active.
It's my girlfriend's told me about it because she did sociology and psychology in college. It's the Smurfette principle, which is the Smurfette is the type of character where it's a female character in a story that serves no purpose other than to serve the male characters.
Yeah,
like
and
in their plot, their character arc, whatever, but they serve no other purpose.
yeah,
And that's MJ in this. She serves no purpose other than to be the damsel in distress
nipples.
for Peter to.
Oh, and I love this just brawl in the water.
Oh yeah,
He's just knocking the shit out of him too.
yeah.
And yeah, this whole bit, like the screaming. Apparently, Kirsten Dunst, she was so tired of it in Spider-Man 3, they just recycled her screams from this one.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So he built the sun thing again, and it's already fucked up again. And ouch, oof, big fight. But and coming up, we're gonna get to the moment where I guess he gets pulled into the MCU.
Yeah, it would be about here.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Sometime
yeah. Of
during
course,
this
that wasn't
scene.
gonna work. They have cameras on him and whatever. Oh yeah, he hits him with the bit with the electricity. Gets shocked again.
It'd be about here, but before
No, it's after
the circuit thing turns him good again. Right. That he gets.
No, I'll show you when I think it is. Because there's a line in No Way Home. Now what? Yeah, I mean, what the fuck would you do at that point?
I wouldn't know what to do either, Peter. Luckily, Peter's a lot smarter than you and me, so.
Well, Otto actually helps him here. But, yeah, I mean, it's going to eventually suck up most of New York because it's a lot of metal.
It would probably destroy the planet.
Eventually, fuck, it would it would become, it would eventually, I mean, probably become like a
yeah, that would be very
sun.
bad.
Like, it would be literally a world-ending
Out of
thing.
this whole trilogy, Otto
This
poses
is the most
greatest threat to the entire globe.
Well, it's like the same thing with like the particle collider. Like, it's like, what if that
Yeah.
does something like this?
Yeah.
You know,
Which it won't,
but it does have the potential to.
it like theoretically
could do something crazy.
But when people
like make
talk,
a black
when
hole.
people talk
or-
about like, oh, the particle collider could create a black hole, it's like when you hear like the actual scientists working on the particle collider, they'll be like, yeah, no, we like it's not going to do that. That's not how it works.
But theoretically, so right
Like-
here, he has him, and remember in No Way Home, he says, "Oh, I had you I had you by the throat."
So it's about here.
So it's like,
oh yeah, no,
yeah. And I love their little wholesome moment in No Way Home where they meet each other again. Because Doc Ock turns... Because they fix the tentacle situation. And he's back to old Otto.
because he was never evil. He was being controlled by the AI.
Yeah.
or corrupted. By
Exactly. So that's why, like, as soon as he's ported into a new world, he just goes back to the...
Well, I'd imagine like he's having this moment with Peter here,
And then all of a
but
sudden...
if you got ripped out of that moment just here,
He'd just be like,
then,
oh,
then
Spider-Man.
you'd be like, oh, what the fuck, and you'd snap back into it.
Yeah, he would, yeah.
So that makes sense.
So it makes
yeah.
sense, yeah.
So probably before
And he tries
that,
to talk
goes,
to
it's
him.
right before he's totally convinced there.
Yeah, I think so. It's like right around here. But He does that whole bit in No Way Home, but they're controlled by Tom Holland at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, and I forgot to mention the whole train bit. That was Sam Raimi's idea.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I remember when
So he drowns
Spider-Man
it.
came out on the PS4, and you were playing it. I was watching you play it. That we tested like if the train will kill you if you let it hit you and stuff.
Yeah, and it did.
Because naturally, you're playing a Spider-Man game now, and there's a train.
Well,
That's what you do.
one of my favorite,
mess with the train.
one of my favorite games, or at least most nostalgic games, we talked about a bit. Spider-Man 2 based off this movie.
Yeah.
And I recently, I replayed the whole thing on an emulator,
Yeah, it's a great
and
game.
and I modded it, of course, with different suits and whatever. But and the whole moment's extended and everything. But okay, enough of that. Oh, the scream. Like, that's so... It's just so weird. It's just so Toby. Just to not say anything, just to scream like a maniac.
Yeah. People forget how strong Spider-Man is.
Oh, yeah,
sometimes.
he's really fucking strong.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's really heavy. And yeah. So Otto... See, yeah, I see what you mean. See, yeah, it was CGI, and you could tell that was fake. But then it immediately went to the real shot of Alfred
Yeah.
Molina.
It
So
doesn't
that's
give you
what
time to dwell on the CGI.
that's what gives the illusion.
Yeah. It just
and
the
yeah,
CGI
that's-
works to tell you what's happening,
And that's
but
what
it doesn't. But it doesn't give you time to focus on the.
And that's
special
what's
effects.
become the
It
prob-
just tells you what's happening in the shot, and then moves on to.
Yeah,
Alfred Molina,
that's
you
what's
know?
become the
And it
problem
works.
with a lot of superhero movie with Marvel and DC too. But because now, yeah, we have great CGI now, but CGI still looks like CGI most of the time, unless it's really well done, like motion capture. Like
Yes.
Thanos looked real,
Yes
right?
and no. Here's the thing.
No, wait, I'm getting to my point.
Yeah.
They over rely on CGI, like in Black Panther. That whole final battle was CGI, and it was obvious. And
Yeah.
if they would have put more time into it, yes, it probably could have been convincing. Because like Thanos and Gollum, even back in the original Lord of the Rings, but like The Hobbit, but like Thanos and Gollum, motion capture CGI look extremely convincing. They look real. You
Yeah.
can see the pores on their skin. But the problem is these VFX guys are being rushed and on tiny, little time frames to put this stuff out.
Yeah,
and
it's not always the CGI
they
artist's
think
fault.
they
They're
think
on
the
timelines.
CGI is just gonna work, but if you don't put that time and effort into it, the
No,
CGI that would still look good, if you just rely on that, it won't, because you have to integrate the practical effects unless you're gonna take it like a year to work on the
I mean,
CGI.
here's the thing.
That's the thing.
People complain about CGI a lot now, and the thing is,
And CGI hasn't
You-
got. Here's
you
another.
say like
Oh, and he-
you can
oh, and he
notice
died.
you can still notice CGI. I would disagree. Actually, about 90% of CGI you don't notice.
It's just the stuff
It's
that.
just the really bad stuff you do notice.
Well,
and
here's another kind of misconception. CGI isn't worse. It's better than it was.
it's so much better.
It's just lazier.
But also here's
It's
the thing.
lazier.
Here's the thing with CGI. You can't just do the thing where you shoot a movie and go, now they do it in post. You have to plan for it.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to plan the shot, plan
and
the
the
lighting.
problem is now they're
and give the CGI artist the proper resources.
but now
and
they're
time.
being rushed and they don't get to plan it.
and that's when you get bad CGI.
Like with She-Hulk, CGI gets a little wonky. I don't think it's bad or anything, but that's because they're being rushed and they just have to put it out and it's not planned.
I
It's
saw
like
some,
just put
some,
in the CGI.
Some person online was making fun of She-Hulk, and they're trying to claim that CGI has gotten worse. And
No,
they're
it
like-
hasn't got worse.
And they're like CGI now, and they use She-Hulk as an example, and CGI in 2009, and it was like Avatar and Davy
Yeah,
Jones
because they work
And it's
on
like,
that.
That's an unfair example because Avatar, which is a movie that's known for its CGI,
Yeah.
and Davy Jones, which is probably one of the most impressive CGI characters
Yeah.
ever made.
Well,
versus She-Hulk, which is a TV show.
it's a TV show that had to be made on a big time crunch.
Yeah, you got to remember it's a TV show.
Yeah. And people just forget about great. Great. But great movie.
Yeah.
But back to the CGI talk. People forget about Thanos. Like that's one of the most convincing looking,
really impressive CGI.
Yeah, but then they're like, it's not as good nowadays.
I mean,
it's like, oh my god, that was 2 years ago.
Forget that.
Calm down.
I mean, and Avengers
just a couple years ago.
Avengers Endgame is practically an animated movie.
A lot of it.
Like
the suits.
60% of that movie is animated.
The quantum Ant-Man suits, CGI.
Yeah.
So convincing.
All of the backgrounds and anything that's not like
here's the thing.
Earth interior building
and I think
is CGI.
I think you hit the nail on the head earlier. It's only when it's noticeable because there's so much CGI being used that we don't notice.
Yeah.
But as soon as there's a bad one or an obvious one, then we're like, ugh, all CGI sucks nowadays compared.
There he is.
There he is.
Man.
Willem Dafoe.
No,
Dad?
Yeah. No, I mean, ultimately, the best special effects are the ones that serve the scene.
Exactly.
They contribute in a meaningful way to what's going on at the scene. The really bad special effects that you notice are not just so often it's because of time crunch and things like that, but sometimes it's also because it was unnecessary. It didn't need to be there, but they just threw it in anyway. So like Indiana Jones,
the lighting wasn't quite, or maybe the lighting wasn't quite there. Or
Indiana Jones,
maybe it wasn't blocked right. Maybe just the
Kingdom of
movement.
the Crystal Skull. There's a lot of really weird CGI moments in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull because it was very unnecessarily added. There were like CGI prairie dogs in one scene, and it was really weird.
Yeah, a lot of unnecessary stuff.
But
this movie, I think,
there's a lot of.
I think it's a prime example of how you blend practical effects with CGI because they use the puppeteers for Doc Ock's arms. They had the shots of them actually fighting and doing the stunts.
Yeah,
in between the CGI shots,
and most of the
I hate
CGI
to say
shots
this,
also, work towards the scene. They contribute, so it's not distracted.
Unless the VFX artists have a long ass time to work on it. If they're on a big time crunch, but then they do the whole scene CGI, it's gonna be obvious. Even if it's really good CGI, it's gonna be obvious.
It can be obvious. But in this movie, there's so many CGI scenes in this movie that are not distracting. Even though they're not perfect CGI.
Well, it's because they blend it.
Because they work with the scene. They contribute in a meaningful way to what's going on in the movie.
This is where he's going to become the new Goblin.
Yeah, and he takes
I love that he has to make his own cool, like,
skateboard thing.
Skateboard skier outfit.
And then there's not
when he has a green Goblin outfit.
I also love that in Spider-Man 3 there's not a single scene where he doesn't get his ass whooped by Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, he just
every encounter Spider-Man just whoops his fucking ass, and it's great. I love it.
And that kind of it kind of shows you, like, at this point, Spider-Man's a veteran. He just fought Doc Ock, another Green Goblin, especially one that's trying to be like a cool skater, isn't gonna be a threat. Because the Green Goblin wasn't just threatening because of his strength, but also because he was Willem Dafoe. He was crazy,
devious,
and and also Spider-Man just got his powers, wasn't used to it.
Yeah.
Oh, J.K. Simmons. But man, that sucks for what's his son's name again? I know in the comics,
the astronaut guy,
John Jameson,
like
but in the comics he becomes Space Wolf or something like that.
Oh yeah,
because during the Comic Code's authority, they couldn't do monsters.
Oh,
but they got away with doing Space Wolf or whatever he's Moon Wolf, where he's like an alien wolf guy. He gets his powers in outer space.
So he's not a monster, he's an alien.
Because an astronaut.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they could do alien stuff. Huh. And that's why in the 50s, Captain America...
fascinating the
that's why in the 50s...
rules they imposed on themselves.
In the 50s, Captain America and Batman fought aliens and just weird, zany shit. They couldn't have mobsters. They couldn't have... Yeah. Well, they couldn't have mobsters or monsters.
Huh.
Very interesting.
That is interesting.
Because monster comics, that kind of stuff. Well, and monster movies were huge too. They were huge, but then here comes the Comic Code Authority. They couldn't portray that.
I think
anymore.
it's really interesting because I'm more familiar with like the Hayes production code, with
and
like,
it's similar.
It's very similar, but like you were allowed to do monsters with the Hayes production code.
Yeah,
You had,
but
to be
comics.
you had to be careful with how you portrayed them, but you could
You
do
couldn't
them.
do vampire and see Morbius. It's Morbin time, and Jared. I know all the memes, but Morbius, he they got away with Morbius. He was one of the first like vampires they did in Marvel again since like the 50s, since Journey into Mystery, because he was a science-based vampire.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't based in
in the Hayes
black
production
magic
code, for example, you
or
like
satanic.
you couldn't portray mobsters in a good light. You could portray them, but that's why. But like they had to be the villains, basically.
Yeah, and then
But
Godfather.
that's why, like in the 1960s, there was a boom in mobster movies.
in 70s with Godfather.
That was the 60s.
Part 2 was 70s.
Yeah, at least part 1 was 60s.
I'm pretty sure it was the 70s, all of
Francis
it.
Ford Coppola was. It was the 1960s that the Godfather was. I'm gonna look this up.
Really?
You're making me question myself. I'm not sure.
I thought they were a 70s trilogy, but maybe I'm wrong. Just when did it release? Oh, yeah, and she abandons her wedding and everything to get with him. Great.
It's not saying for some reason. Part 2 was
I'll look it up.
1974, based off of the novel from 1969. So yeah, 70s.
The novel was the 60s.
But
yeah.
but there, Godfather was not the first one. There was like A Dog Day Afternoon and things like that.
So yeah,
which was
Godfather was 72, the original.
right. But either way, the Hayes production code went out in the mid 60s.
Yeah, that's when it. Yeah,
and that's why there was this explosion.
same thing
of,
with comics.
explosion of
enough.
mobster movies and stuff.
Oh, here we go.
Oh yeah.
No movie has a better. None of the Spider-Man movies have a better exit outro than the Raimi ones with the swinging.
Yeah.
No Way Home gets close though when they reveal the new suit, and
I like
also
that,
his
yeah.
apartment looks remarkably like Toby's in this one.
How amazing would it be if they brought back Mr. Dinkovich?
Right? I know. Imagine in that movie, you hear the landlord. It's like rent. Just a little fun reference.
Yeah.
She's probably rethinking her decisions now.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, he really does the Spider-Man thing a lot, and he has a shitty apartment. Ooh.
Yeah. He has meaningful talks with you and then jumps out the window, literally.
Immediately, yeah.
Yeah, like immediately.
Because that's his duty.
Yeah.
And here's the credits.
Yeah. Great movie. Yeah.
Great, yeah.
I'm always glad to watch anything Spider-Man.
And
Even the worst Spider-Man movie,
it's so fun.
I still enjoy.
And this is, man, it's hard to say, but it's still one of my favorite Spider-Man movies.
Definitely.
It's right up there with Spider-Verse, but Spider-Verse is so different. It's hard to compare.
Yeah, this is definitely my favorite live action Spider-Man
Honestly,
movie, but
we've done a lot of rankings and stuff, but to be honest, to be quite frank with you guys, I don't really like ranking things.
No, yeah.
I like appreciating things as an individual piece of art. And,
Yeah.
because...
At least ranking things like movies,
Yeah, or movies, music, all
The
that
stuff
kind of
I like
stuff.
to rank is like we did our fast food ranking.
Yeah, because
That's fun.
of course,
But
because
like
that's not
ranking
art.
The Spider-Man movies, it's like, there's things I like and dislike about every single one of them.
Yeah.
In general, I actually like all of them.
But really, with this one, there's not much I don't like about it.
No, there's very few things I can nitpick about this one.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite superhero movies.
It's just a classic superhero movie. And, and just with No Way Home, and we will cover that eventually. But just the fact they kind of tied this together, it's just so good.
Yeah.
And, good Spider-Man movie, good time.
Good shit, yeah.
Yeah, really good. Creme de la creme. And
Eventually we'll get around to Spider-Man 3.
we'll get around to Spider-Man 3. And that one, we're going to have a lot to say and complain and nitpick about and joke about. Because that's where it really goes off the rails.
Yeah, and stay tuned for
the next Twilight.
next Twilight pretty soon. We're going to be getting into Spooktober.
Spooktober, and we got some fun guests coming up.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if that works
Yeah,
out.
you might have noticed we did not do our Shrek-tember idea.
Yeah, because it is September now, and we're not doing Shrek.
But
One day, maybe we could do.
maybe one day. Yeah.
What's another? We could do Shrek Simber. No, that doesn't really have a ring to it.
I don't think.
Shrecuary.
Shrek
Doesn't quite have a ring to
no. Shrew-lie,
it. What?
like July, but with Shrek.
Oh, I thought you were making a True Lies pun.
No, I'm trying to combine.
True Liarary. Shrek.
Shrey, May, like in May.
Nah. Anyways, we will see you next week.
Yes.
Check out the link tree. Check out our Instagram at OddDrunkPod if you want to see that fun stuff. And give us a follow on whatever podcast thing you listen to. A review or rating would be really nice. You can do it on Apple Podcasts. You can do it on Spotify. You just do a rating, easy. And but we would love to see your reviews, of course. And if you really like it, you could give it a download. But I don't really care about that. As long as we know
you're listening.
Just as long as we know you're listening, that's pretty cool. And we will see you next week.
Yeah.
For something. For an episode. That's all I can say.
We definitely plan it ahead of time, all the time.
Oh yeah, always. You know what? When it seems like we're not planning on it, or when we're like, oh, we don't know, that's actually a ruse. It's a ploy.
We're just creating drama.
We're creating drama. Like, ooh, what's gonna be next? But we totally know what's gonna be next.
Definitely plan the show months in advance.
Well, jokes aside, there is episodes we do plan, and then there's episodes maybe like this one. That we're just like, hey, you want to do a commentary?
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see you next week. Stay safe out there and keep it real. I don't know. I don't have a catchphrase yet. And we're over 100 episodes in.
We'll figure it out.
This is not a test. I repeat, this is not a test. The Odd Drunk Podcast recommends you follow their Instagram and join their Facebook group for more fun content. To visit all of our current streaming and social media platforms, visit the link tree in the description. If you enjoy the show, we would be appreciated if you would leave a review on Apple Podcasts. The Odd Drunk Podcast would like to remind you to drink responsibly and not to drink and drive. Okay, Colton, you can roll the outro now.